All righty. What is happening, my fellow Week 16 sweaters?
For sure.
Quick thing off the top. We do have plenty of questions to get to, but I do want to make sure that we get through them in a timely manner. So hopefully by the end of this stream, we're able to give out free questions. So if you want free questions, hammer the like button, and I promise you we shall get to some free questions. And also, if you submitted a question throughout the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably Friday and Saturday mainly, and you were like, hey, is my question going to get answered? It had a player from Saturday football in it. Danny went through yesterday and answered all those questions that had Saturday players in it. But just to be safe, because in case people didn't see it or whatever the case is, you've been sent a start sit voucher just in case you were like, oh, okay, I got DJ Moore in my lineup in time, but I have questions about players today or whatever. And you wanted your question answered on stream. So you should all have vouchers. If you submitted a question like Friday or Saturday and it had an Eagle, a Commander, a Bear, or a Packer in it, then you should have a voucher in your account there. So you should, like Arthur, for example, I know you have a voucher in your account. Plenty of you guys probably got some. But let's get it kicked off, Danny. We do have a team review from Mr. Marcow here. Marcoux. We'll do this first just because it might take us a little bit longer, and then we'll get into the rest of the questions. It's a Dynasty 1 quarterback, 10 teams, start 12. PPR, non-tight end premium. Also, 2,900 Laquan. I have this exact decision in the Flock League, and I am personally starting Ibuka. So that should
I
show
moved
you.
Marv ahead of him.
Marv, he's limited apparently. They're gonna.
That was an official report. Okay, then I'm gonna adjust that then.
Yeah, they said that they're gonna ease him in, which means probably 60% of the routes. And I was already kind of up and down on who I would start anyways, so I might as well just go with Ibuka in that situation.
Was there like an official tweet about it that came out this morning?
I think Underdog tweeted it, or some other beat reporter tweeted it, or something like that.
Okay. I'm gonna move Marv down. Then I had him at 24. Given the context of the limitation,
I'm like 33 or something like
that. I moved him
think
down 32, one spot ahead of Waddle for me, because again, I moved Waddle down significantly since our stream. I can't get over the fact that the one good player on that Bengals defense is the guy that's going to be shadowing him, and I don't trust Quinn Ewers worth a damn.
Yeah, no, I get that.
33.
I have Waddle one spot ahead of Harrison, but I'm totally fine with that. Okay.
Yeah, reasonable.
Moving into this review here. So it's a Dynasty 10 teams, start 12, PPR, non-tight end premium. I mean, one quarterback league sucks because your quarterback core would be insane if this was a super flex league with Drake May, Jackson Dart, Dak Prescott, CJ Stroud. Obviously, you can only start one of those guys. First and foremost, maybe see if you can sell some of these players. Maybe Jackson Dart would be a good one because he's got a lot of hype behind him. He's a young quarterback, that kind of thing. Prescott, you're probably not going to get a ton for. CJ Stroud, because he's not really producing at a super high level, you might not get a ton for. Although I'd be cool shopping Stroud if he has a lot of interest in your specific league. Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle. Receivers are a little bit weaker on the long-term front. I got to move. Just keep in mind, I haven't updated my dynasty rankings.
Yeah, we're going to do a full sweep.
So Jameson Williams needs to be moved up my dynasty rankings. So he'd probably be maybe even first on this list, probably in terms of overall dynasty wide receiver ranking compared to the rest of these guys. I think he's probably the number 1 guy or close to it.
You can argue it for sure. At the very minimum, number 2.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, I mean, the receiver core is definitely coming along. Jaden Reed probably gets bump up the rankings now that he's back healthy and whatnot. Let me see if he had any specific questions in the messages, because I'm curious if he had anything.
Yeah, if he has it in the DMs, maybe, because it doesn't show up on the actual.
No, it doesn't. He doesn't have any question in the DMs either. I guess we'll just kind of start with where he's going. He's 10-4. Yeah. It says streak 1 loss. So I'm guessing he lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Unless he had a bye week. Can we check?
Yeah, if he had a bye week, that's possible as well.
Yeah, it looks like he has the highest record. No, 10-4. If
10-4. Yes. Okay, you're right. Yeah, he would have had a bye. He would have had a bye. Then his loss would have come in week 14, most likely.
Yeah. So assuming he had the bye week, you probably started off the week strong. AJ Brown, I think, had 9 catches, 100 yards yesterday. Yep. You're looking at about 19 points. Anybody else that he had that went already?
It looks no one else, AJ? I don't think, has played. So his starting lineup in a start 12. So it's a deep starting lineup. Drake May would be in his starting lineup. Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte, and Rico Dowdle probably all finding his lineup. Zay Flowers, AJ Brown, Jamison Williams would all find his lineup. Brock Bowers would be in his lineup. You'd probably be deciding between like Godwin and Jaden Reed. Yeah. Maybe he played Jaden Reed potentially with Watson coming in banged up.
I mean, I was very pro Jaden Reed. It is unfortunate because obviously Love went down early. Jaden Reed also got banged up in the game. Like, I guess I should have known that a little bit more. Like, hey, Jaden Reed, this is such an optimistic spot. How the fuck is he going to get hurt today? Like, it always seems to be that case with Jaden Reed. Like, as soon as you want to buy back in, it's like, oh yeah, no, he looked good last week. Snaps are going up. Maybe we see him get back to wide receiver 2 territory. And I mean, what was he grabbing? His like midsection or whatever when he went down? Like, I feel like every time he gets hit, I'm scared.
In a start 12, he would have had to have started probably Deebo Samuel, Jaden Reed, and Chris Godwin because it's 9 players of the obvious must-start guys. And then your next 3 probably would have been Deebo, Jaden Reed, and Godwin because you're not going to start Chuba Hubbard or I mean, maybe Josh Downs, but I doubt it with Phillip Rivers. So Deebo, Reed, and Godwin were probably in his lineup, which sucks because Reed and Deebo didn't really have that great of games. They had like 10 points or 12 points combined or something like that.
It's unfortunate. You're banking on the rest of your lineup, making it up for it. On top of that, in a start 12, you can live with a few duds because
and AJ had a good game too. So
that's what I mean. Yeah, he had like 20 points or almost close to that.
But yeah, the team, as far as like, okay, obvious, like you're trying to win this year. That's your clear first step is you're trying to win the championship. I think between Irving and Javonte and Taylor and May and Bowers and all these guys, you should be able to make it up. What would be like your first order of business this year with a team like this, assuming like, let's say you win the championship or you come close or something, like what are you doing as soon as the offseason hits?
Well, it's kind of a tricky spot because I would say at this point, like Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, guys like that specifically are going to have their peak value right now. Obviously, you need them for your playoff push, so it's not like you're going to sell. But you also have to acknowledge if you're trying to sell them right after the season starts, you're just simply going to get 70% of the value that you would have gotten at this point. So right off the bat, I do think this team is strong enough to be able to run it back for next year. You do have a lot of production equity. You do have some value accrual pieces as well. It's not like this is a type of team that, you only have the production and all these guys.
I think Javonte and Dowdle stick out to me as guys that I'm like a little bit like, I don't know what to think about them as far as soon as the offseason hits. Like, what do you think about these guys? Because obviously they're very valuable right now because they're producing and they're starters, but we don't know for sure if the Cowboys will bring Javonte back, if Rico Dowdle is going to stay a starter somewhere. Maybe he gets a starting job on a different team or something. Those guys, maybe you could shop after the season or whatever the case is. Or if you get eliminated this week, maybe the people in the championship, if you don't have a trade deadline, would be interested in buying players like that. But aside from that, I mean, there's not much else I would want to do with this team. Like there's, everything else seems to be making a lot of sense as far as like direction. Because you have a young receiver core. You have a lot of young players there. Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor is still going to be good next year. I imagine they're both going to be top 2-round redraft picks. And then Drake May, Jackson Dart and stuff. Again, the other course of action potentially would be to sell one of like Jackson Dart, Dak Prescott, or CJ Stroud. And I would imagine CJ Stroud and Dart would be the ones that would make the most sense to sell.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just tough because like realistically, what type of relatable value you're going to get for them? I do think most likely you'd probably have to use them rather than individual pieces to sell as part of more broader packages.
Yeah, in one quarterback leagues, I like depending on your team's market, like it's a 10-team league too. So like, are they really going to hold a lot of value? Like probably not. Like maybe you can find somebody who's really enamored with Jackson Dart or whatever, and you can throw Jackson Dart plus Deebo Samuel and try and upgrade to a young wide receiver that has a little bit more value.
Yeah. I definitely think in a start 12, though, if you're able to get acquire more depth, specifically at wide receiver, again, that's something that isn't a pressing need right now, but maybe a consideration long term. And then, like Corey said, if you can clean up your quarterback core, you don't need 4 starting guys. Maybe there's some interest. Like if we go to the guy that's 10th, maybe he has a complete abomination of a core.
Yeah, I mean, he has Kyler Murray as his only quarterback. He's got a young team too, so he'd be interested in Dart, I would imagine.
Yeah, and again, like I'm not trying to overtax on a guy like Dart because it is a 1 quarterback league, but if you can use him to try to do a little up tier there, I wouldn't be opposed. Like,
could you maybe buy low on Xavier Worthy using Jackson Dart in some way in a 1 quarterback league? Because Worthy, didn't have a great season this year. It's probably a lot to do with the shoulder injury. Maybe you still believe in him. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe you could use it as part of a broader package even. Like maybe you could go Jackson Dart plus like one of your better receivers, like the Zay Flowers territory, the AJ Brown territory. Maybe this guy's just absolutely sick of Justin Jefferson, for example. You could try and go like Flowers, Jackson Dart plus a pick and see how close that gets you to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, again, overall, nothing really pressing. You are in the midst of a playoff window. Obviously, if you were eliminated, we'd probably be a little bit more, advocates of selling right now because you can get peak value. But
Yeah,
if
but it
you're in
looks
the
like you were
playoff
on
push,
bye, so
yeah, if you're in the playoff push and you're trying to win the championship, go try to win the championship. We're not trying to tear it down and take away our shot of doing that. So,
yeah. I don't want to say Worthy blows yet. I'm
he does
definitely going to
blow.
adjust my expectations for
He
Xavier
blows.
Worthy, but I don't think he blows. I'm going to put him in kind of like the camp of he's probably only worth an early to mid 2 as opposed to he's worth a 1 of any kind.
I ain't paying an early to mid 2 for him.
I would, because he's only 22 years old. He had the shoulder injury this year. I think his career path looks a lot like the Quentin Johnston career arc, where like in year 3 is when he could really figure some things out. Mahomes should be back next year. Rice will be, full camp. Maybe I'm being super optimistic for no reason.
Ryan Flournoy is a better receiver than Xavier Worthy today.
Who?
Ryan Flournoy is a better receiver than Xavier Worthy today.
I mean, maybe. I tend to agree. I when I say breakout candidate, is Xavier Worthy ever going to be a top 12 wide receiver in fantasy? I highly doubt that. Obviously, I'm going to adjust my priors on Xavier Worthy to that extent, but could he be like? I'm trying to think of like somebody who he could turn into.
Yeah. And I think that would be the complete bull case as he became
complete bull case is like I'd say median is like what Hollywood was when he was really solid at the beginning of his career.
That's almost like 70th percentile for me
maybe,
right now. Like I genuinely don't think he'd be a top 3 receiver on the Cowboys today. And like that's saying a lot. I just don't think
he's not a terrible one either.
Yeah, I don't think with Xavier Worthy, the all-around game has been polished. I think as a pure route runner, he hasn't been nuanced. As a ball tracker specifically, like we saw some of the warning signs at Texas, but we wanted to say, okay, well, Quinn Ewers, he was completely inaccurate down the field. That played part of the issues tracking it. But man, like it almost feels like every time Mahomes has him untested, perfect pass down the field. And
Xavier I wouldn't say there's been many perfect passes down the field from Patrick Mahomes to Xavier Worthy.
There have been. Xavier Worthy just can't track a ball worth a damn at this point. Like, I don't know what to make of the.
I put some of this on the first play of the season. He got injured. Like, I put some of this on the shoulder injury, a little bit. I'm not saying a lot. I'm not saying I'd be actively buying the guy, but I would pay like the 204 to go trade for him. I would.
I frankly would need to get him for a mid to late 2 to even consider it, and even at that point, I don't know if I'm pulling the trigger.
That's fine. I think he's going to be a contentious topic for sure in terms of what he's actually worth. I personally
think was for what it's worth. Mahomes was absolutely bad on deep balls this year, but I also think not having a receiver that can track it down the field is going to be an impact as well.
You're right.
I think both are at fault for that.
Xavier Worthy is also like 22 and a half years old, and most receivers, like some receivers, wouldn't even be in the NFL yet. And we saw like an insane Super Bowl run the last time he was healthy. Like we have not seen him healthy all year.
Darnell Mooney's a good comp for like a 50th percentile outcome. Darnell Mooney's a solid receiver.
Yeah,
more of like a 3.
Yeah, he is. Like I said, I think the expectation to me is like Darnell Mooney or Hollywood Brown more so than like Jamison Williams or like whatever people thought, like Tyreek Hill at some point of Xavier Worthy's development. It also has to factor in that Xavier Worthy was a very good prospect. Like at this point in his career, it still matters that he was a raw.
Keon Coleman was a good prospect.
Huh?
Like you see what I'm doing though? Like Keon Coleman was a good prospect, but it's like a lot.
Keon Coleman was not as good of a prospect as Xavier. We're not even close.
Sure, but like they went within 10 picks of each other. Both have struggled so far in their careers.
Well, that's why I said QJ. QJ is a good kind of path for it because QJ was raw also, but was a good prospect.
Yeah, I just
not like the same build or anything, obviously, but like I think Xavier Worthy, QJ, Hollywood Brown, Darnell Mooney, like that's kind of. Is that a needle moving asset? No. If you want to just keep your 204, 205 and swing on a needle moving asset in this upcoming draft class, I think that's fair.
Yeah, like realistically, we were drafting Worthy very high. I think
we were, and I really thought that what Jamison Williams is doing right now was within the range of outcomes for Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I don't know what to make, especially if let's just say Patrick Mahomes is on the pup to start next year. If he's on the pup to start next year, and Rashee Rice is going to be the clear engine of the offense, like, yeah, sure. Even if Kelsey retires, if he's the number 2 to Rashee Rice and again, that's hopeful saying number 2. Very well could be a possibility. The Chiefs say this offseason, hey, listen, we didn't get good enough wide receiver play. Let's go out another outside wide receiver.
Yeah, I think that would say a lot about what they think about Xavier Worthy. I will definitely adjust my opinion one way or another if they don't do anything at receiver or if they do a lot at wide receiver, because then you know what they think of Xavier Worthy at that point in time. And I do think that Xavier Worthy's probably getting shoulder surgery the second the season's over as well. He should be shut down for the rest of the year at this point, honestly.
Well, so let me ask you this question. Let's just say the Chiefs, they end up finishing, pick 12, pick 13, 7-10, 8-9 area in their record, right? Without Mahomes. At that point, like, do you not inquire to see how much it costs to go up and get one of the stud receivers in this class?
Maybe, but I think they would be comfortable being a Sadiq team as well.
Sadiq would make a ton of sense too. This is Kelsey's last year, the way he's talking, by the way.
Yeah,
like, there's no way he comes.
Anyways, I'm going to refocus to answer these questions. Go ahead and finish.
Last thing. When he referenced Patrick Mahomes, he basically said, yeah, hopefully the Chiefs can get him back next year. They didn't say us. He didn't say we. He said, hopefully the Chiefs get him back next year.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of my last point on Worthy is I think people don't really understand how difficult that injury is to play through, especially when you're undersized. Sure. And I think mentally it probably affected him a lot. Like, Dr. Morse and like some of the other fantasy docs were like, he shouldn't play again this year. Like they thought he was going to get shut down for the season. So the fact that he played just shows how, and one of my favorite qualities about Xavier Worthy, as obviously somebody who watched his entire college career, is he's tough as nails for a small guy. So it doesn't shock me that he would play through that.
The little Chihuahua.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I don't want to forget what he did week 10 onward of his rookie season. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be too attached to it, obviously, because we've got more information now, but I think it should matter that he was hurt the very first play of the season.
And I'll just say this because I see this popped up and we were talking about Worthy. So Worthy, his quarterback in college, Ewers. I love the under in this game. Like, I think the Cincinnati defense has actually been playing well these last couple of weeks. Miami as well has been playing well, like across the last 4 or 5 games compared to the start of the year. It's at like 46.5 last
47.5
47.5. Dude, like, I would be shocked if the Dolphins scored more than
10 points.
14 points, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably all going to come on HN. Pause. Wow.
Yeah, that's a pause.
Hell no.
I just don't think Quinn's very good at all. Like,
Quinn sucks.
He's just not good. I think that not only is Quinn not very good, that we're going to see Zach Wilson once at least over the next 3 weeks. Like, there's no way they play Quinn for the rest of the year. He's too bad for that to happen.
Yeah. And I will say with BTJ, last couple of weeks, he's actually played a lot better. So I'm curious how he looks against Denver today.
Yeah, I think this whole second-year receiver class in general has been a flop and a half. Like, we were so excited about McConkey and BTJ.
Neighbors got hurt.
Harrison's not been, I think there's an alternate universe where Harrison's actually having a breakout season right now, but...
Well, bro, you could say the only second-year receiver that has played above expectation has been Ryan Flournoy. That's how fucking bleak it's been.
I would say that Neighbors was set to have just a monster season. Once the fact that we didn't have a single game with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors together is pretty crazy. Yeah, Troy Franklin has been much better this year too.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the sleeper projections on Troy Franklin being 6 points when he's the wide receiver 28 in fantasy this year?
Yeah.
He's the wide receiver 28 in fantasy, and his sleeper projection 6 points.
They're probably baking in Pat Bryant stealing snaps.
I mean, still, like,
I agree though.
Wrong to me.
Pat Bryant might have a higher projection.
He might, but like, there's like shitty like Adam Thielen types with higher than 6 point projections.
That's a good point.
Anyways, let's get to the questions
15.
again. One last time, if you guys are just joining us, if you submitted a question yesterday and it had a Saturday player in it, Danny combed through all the questions and answered those ones, but you did get a voucher for the rest of your question. For example, let's say there was like a quarterback start sit and like stuff that wasn't affected yesterday. You can resubmit your question and get the rest of that answered. And we're going to do our absolute best to get through all of these questions in the next hour or so that there's ample time for us to like give away questions to people or go through the chat questions or whatever. So make sure you hammer the like button as well, because once we get to like 50 likes or something, we'll definitely hand out some questions. All right. Lock in Chris Aguilera, shout out. No Devontae this week, so not sure what to do at wide receiver. Okay, the quarterback discussion with T. Higgins playing, I'm definitely going with Joe Burrow here. There's no other quarterback other than Jalen Hurts, Drake May, or Josh Allen that I would start over Joe Burrow with a healthy T. Higgins.
I can capitulate. I do have Dart at 6 and Burrow at 8, though. So
really, you have Dart that high, even against Minnesota?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I mean, they're not like a daunting defense, but they are much better against the pass than they are against the run.
They
So
are.
I think if Dart gets there, it will have to be as a runner.
They are a blitz happy defense though, and I can see Dart really being impacted in terms of his overall rushing today.
And I know this is a stupid narrative thing, but like part of me ranks Dart a couple spots lower than I ought to because he's in the medical tent every single game. Same
Which
goes
is a
for like
fair.
Woody Marks. Like I want to rank Woody Marks higher than I normally do, but Woody Marks is in the medical tent literally every second quarter of every game.
I will say definitely the toughest range for me in my rankings this week was 6 through 9. Jackson Dart, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy. I do have them ahead of Lamar. Again, a little bit of uncertainty in terms of the volume. We only saw 12 attempts last week. Again, a lot of that was game flow game flow affected, but still a concern. And I'm kind of regretting this, but man, I wish I had Matthew Stafford ranked higher. It's just you see the over-under drop by 3 points right before kickoff. All the things we heard about the weather going into that kickoff, like if I knew it was going to be as clear as it was, like when we started watching that game, it was very apparent. Hey, weather's probably not going to be a factor here.
When you're the MVP, it doesn't matter.
Well, dude, like if I knew it was going to be fucking clear skies, I would have ranked this guy probably like top 5.
Yeah, I had him QB. I would have ranked him top 5 too. I had him QB 9, and I had him in the tier. And I said, like during the QB tier list, I'm like, if you want to play him over Jared Goff and Jacoby Brissett and stuff, because he's just Matthew Stafford and he's the MVP, then by all means go ahead and do it. So I'm glad I said that at least.
Even though quarterback 2 in points per game right now.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. Anyways, RJ Harvey over Rico Dowdle here. Is that what you would go with?
Harvey, yes.
They're close for me. Like I think it's not like the matchup is bad for the Jags. Allow the least amount of rushing yards in football. Like they're a really good run defense.
They're also a really good pass defense. Like I really think that team's that game Jaguars versus Denver is going to be fucking.
I know, and I'm pissed about that because I'm starting Bo Nix against you in the listener league, and Caleb Williams dropped 28 points, who I didn't start. But I was worried about Caleb Williams versus the Packers defense. Hey. So I hopefully Bo Nix gets me the same amount of points that Caleb got me on my bench. So
counterpoint. How about this? How about the difference between what Bo Nix and Caleb Williams scores? At least let it be the same difference between what Ken Walker and Audric Estime scores.
No, I told you to start Ken Walker. That's on you, brother.
Hey, I told you to start No, I'm kidding. I didn't.
Michael Wilson's in there at wide receiver for you. I think if you guys are wondering expectations on Marvin Harrison Jr., he's my wide receiver 32 this week. I would say you probably don't have to play him unless you're truly talking about like bleaker options. Like if you have a top 24 to 28 running back or a top 30-ish play at wide receiver, I'd probably roll with them over Marvin just because even though I like the game environment, like I think that Falcons and Cardinals game could end up shooting out. I'm just worried that Marvin's not going to be out there for a full allotment of snaps. So I still have Michael Wilson ranked as a top 15 or 12 receiver this week.
Is that a real fucking stat?
Yeah. No, deadass. That's a legitimate stat.
Also, let's hope so.
I have to start him and can't wait, so I'm cool with that. Ladd McConkey, Justin Jefferson, Jacoby Myers here. Who are you rolling with?
McConkey, Jefferson, Myers. Myers would be the one for me of that group.
Okay, I have Myers and McConkey quite close, but I actually do have Jefferson one of that group. I told you I'm going to the on Jefferson, even though it's gross.
So I have Myers as the clear one. If you want to go with Jefferson and Myers, then I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Chris, if you're listening to this, I would actually go with Jefferson and Ladd.
I would go with Myers and Jefferson. Jefferson's 26, Ladd's 27. I have Myers at 20.
Okay, so we'll go with Jefferson and Myers just to balance it out there. But Rico would also factor into the flex decision for what it's worth. I'm fine sitting Ladd. I think that game environment versus Dallas, Trey Harris and Quentin Johnson coming in banged up, like it's a 50.5 point over under. Like I just want pieces of that game, to be honest. I think that Herbert and the Chargers are really going to put up some points in that one.
I totally understand it. I'm just really concerned that we haven't seen the volume be there for this offense.
No, we have not. Ladd has been very disappointing at times, but I feel like he's due. This is honestly just one of those gutalytics he's due games, in my opinion. Maybe it won't work out, but I think process-wise, I mean, it's a 50.5 point over-under against the Cowboys defense, and two of the top 4 receivers are coming in banged up.
I will also capitulate. I said Dart earlier. We got Burrow into the question, so not a big deal. I'm actually going to move Dart behind Prescott, Purdy, and Burrow, because when we're looking at the over-unders of those games specifically, and obviously the matchup that Purdy has against Indianapolis, I just can't really say that I would start Dart over them. So that's going to be a live adjustment I made.
I had Dart at 10, sorry. So I had him actually out of that tier entirely.
Yeah.
Like my tier of like, these are the guys that you got to have in your lineup was Burrow at 4, Goff at 5, Brissett at 6, Purdy at 7, Lamar at 8, and Stafford at 9. That was like my you got to start them tier. And then like Dart, Herbert, Love, Prescott, Nix, and Mayfield were like the very high end streamers.
Yeah, I have Prescott a good amount higher than that. 50 and a half.
I think the Chargers are a defense that you traditionally want to run the ball against. All the numbers kind of point to that. So I think the touchdowns could go Javante's way as opposed to Dak's way.
One thing I will say specifically with the matchup, the single best matchup on the field against the Chargers is in the slot, and CeeDee Lamb has the biggest advantage of a receiver versus a cornerback in that.
Is it what's his name? Cam Hart?
Yes.
Yeah, Cam Hart's been, to be fair, the other two corners are like top 5 in the NFL in fantasy points per route covered. So they are going to take away whoever's not on them, and whether it's Lamb or Pickens or whatever. Well, it's Cam Hart only plays like half the time in the slot, and CeeDee Lamb only plays like 50% of the snaps in the slot too. So they'll probably be rotating a little bit.
I also just know the way the Cowboys attack offense philosophy from a philosophy standpoint. If they know that nickel cornerback is going to be a real problem, CeeDee Lamb is going to have a field day in this game.
Yeah, I actually tend to think that this is a good game to use Jake Ferguson. I think that he has a chance to have a pretty solid game in this one.
Yeah, I'm going Dak here. They're close. 6 and 9. Well, what's the discrepancy for you?
10 and 13.
Yeah, so Dak highest overall, and similar gap. So,
it's close. I mean, I guess if you're listening to this, McLovin, I would go with Dart. Danny would go with Dak. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. I mean, maybe he has a decision that would factor in. Does he have like Evans, a stacking partner? No, it doesn't look like it. So,
Gas in the same game, but you're not playing him over Waller.
No. It's close actually in my rankings, but I do have Waller higher.
I would go Waller against Cincinnati, especially knowing that Waddle is probably going to see.
And then in this flex decision, are you going Flowers, Igbuka, or Harvey? I'm assuming, or I guess Dowdle as well. I
gotta go Harvey there.
I'm gonna go Flowers there. I am a little worried about the matchup for Harvey. I have him RB like 18 or 17 or something like that. I don't think he's an absolute must start. I think with Flowers, the last 2 games, he's produced at a high level. He's been making big plays. He's been able to find the end zone and had a couple of end zone targets that he didn't even go his way. So,
wide receiver 22 versus RB 15 for me, I would go Harvey.
Yeah, I think there's McLovin. I don't envy you. There's a lot of tough, toss up kind of questions here, for sure. We'll go Harvey in the flexes because it is also half PPR, so maybe lean with the running back there as opposed to Zay Flowers, who's more of like a PPR guy. Losing by 50, opponent had Puka, so he's down in his matchup, obviously. So we're kind of playing the ceiling here. I think if you're playing the ceiling, you got to go Genty.
Against Houston?
Yeah. He's a running back who touches the ball 25 times. That's where you get the ceiling from. And also, like, you got to play Estime over him.
So he's the option that I think
Carter, I guess, could rack up 7+ catches or something like that.
So I would go Genty here because he's the highest ranked. However, I think you can make the case the ceiling lies with Carter and Estime. Estime against the Jets.
Absolutely not, because he's going to be in a split backfield and not going to get receiving work. But Carter, I could get there on the ceiling just because he runs a lot of routes and catches a lot of passes.
Yeah, again, Estime very volatile. The reason why I'm saying ceiling is because he's got that matchup against the Jets at home. He could score 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he'd have to score a couple times, I think, for that to happen.
Well, that's where the ceiling would come. Again, the volatile range of outcome, I still would prefer Genty. Hopefully you can get your ceiling from like Ladd or Fannin.
Judkins could have a huge game.
JSN had a good game too, for what it's worth. He had like 24.
Yeah, JSN had a nice game. I think Ladd, Jefferson, Fannin, like you have a lot of ceiling in your lineup. Purdy has a huge ceiling. I would go with Genty there, but that's a close discussion for sure. Parm Bijan here. Round 2 of the playoffs, big semifinal this week. Thanks. Drake May versus Jacoby
May higher,
but Jacoby this week. I have Drake May higher.
Yeah, I have May higher, but dude, Jacoby's such a good option. I'd go Carter here.
Yeah, full PPR, I'd go Carter. Although I do think Gutalytics again, I think Montgomery could score twice against the Steelers. I absolutely think he could, but Carter in a full PPR. I mean, I think his floor is like 10 points, to be honest.
Wilson Juwan.
Yeah, I think you're going. You could go Diggs supposedly, like potentially there.
I'm going Juwan easily.
With no Pearsall and against the Colts with no Gardner and I don't think Charvarius Ward's going to be back for that game either.
I'm going to keep it a stack. They're nowhere close in my rankings. I have Juwan at 15 and Diggs at 37.
Does it factor into your decision at all? I guess it wouldn't. Never mind. I was going to say just because he's starting Kittle already.
They're 22 spots apart of my rankings.
Okay, they're not that far apart of my rankings. They are like semi far apart. Like I have Jennings at 22 and I have Diggs at, where is Diggs in my rankings? Where are you?
Dude, he's playing less than 50. He's playing less than 50% of the snaps. I can't get
He is, but I just think at Baltimore, he's got a pretty nice. This is a must-win game for New England. I think they're going to throw him out there 70, 80.
We said that against Buffalo.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know on London coming back from IR. If any of you guys are worried about starting London, just play him. Honestly,
I'm going Brissett.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I also would go Brissett.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds like London's going to be fine.
I mean, I guess when you have these options, I understand why you're worried about starting London.
Henderson and London. Oh, JMO's there. Fuck.
I would start London over JMO, but he's also starting St. Brown and Gibbs already too.
Yeah. Well, the conversation would be JMO versus Hendo, but because you have St. Brown, maybe you go Hendo there. Like that's
cool. Man, these are some great options. I mean, realistically, like you're in really great shape.
Wow.
I will say, because of how good the rest of your lineup is, it makes me more confident starting a guy like Lamar and going for that ceiling game against this is their season. Like the Ravens lose this game, they're done.
So counterpoint, Brissett's floor is so high, and if the rest of your lineup you're banking on going off, like maybe you just take the guaranteed 40 pass attempts.
Yeah, which is fair. And I think Atlanta and Arizona, that game could easily be 30-27. Like I think the scoring could go wild in that game for sure.
I love JMO too. I did have London higher in my tier list simply because of the fact that London between weeks 4 and 11, I was averaging 24.5 points per game.
He's literally been the best receiver in fantasy since the Falcons bye. I know it's a small sample because he was out for a bunch of games, but like he was a monster once they started moving him back into the slot. And my stat of the game for that game was that Garrett Williams, the slot corner for the Arizona Cardinals, is like a bottom 3 NFL corner in fantasy points per route coverage. So whatever time London gets in the slot, he could legit catch 2 touchdowns in those like 40% of snaps.
The thing is too, Will Johnson's expected back, but he's been missing with I believe a thumb injury. And if he's their only good corner, if you can get him off of snaps off of Will Johnson, then you're going to have a field day because like you said, the rest of the secondary is just garbage.
It's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're also kind of mini stacking that game too, as well.
Yeah.
Like he has Jacoby Brissett and Trey McBride already. So you have like a run back of Drake London for that game to shoot at. I really do think if you guys want to bet today, I think a 48 point over under, that one's going over. I think that's going to be a really high scoring game, the Arizona and Atlanta game.
JMO has also been scoring in similar points per game and it is not hurt. That's fair. If you want to start JMO, I don't blame you.
Don't get me wrong. I just think you're already starting St. Brown and Gibbs already. Like, do you want that much exposure to that game?
They're wide receivers 7 and 8 in my rankings this week, and they're both in tier 1.
6 and 10 for me. So like they're all elite option. If you wanted to start JMO over Henderson, I would actually be more likely to do that.
That's what I'm saying. I would rather do that than anything. Also, Mark, I'm assuming that's a team review we did at the beginning. We mentioned he had so many quarterbacks. The adjustment that we would make, knowing now that you messed up, it's actually a super flex league. If that's the case, just treat your quarterbacks like liquidity. The fact that you have that type of luxury, having, I believe it was Jackson,
it was Stroud, Dart, May, and Prescott. I actually think it's even more applicable now to sell one of them. That it's a super flex.
I think Stroud's going to be the clear sell of that group because Dak, you're probably not going to get the most market value for right now. I mean, unless if you get so high on Dart,
you get so much for Dart that you might get a legit needle moving wide receiver for him,
which is totally reasonable. I would say Stroud or Dart are going to be the sells. May, I would need a complete godfather.
Yeah, you're not going to get what you want for May, and Dak just doesn't get open market. You're a contender. You might as well just keep him.
Yeah, Dak, he's what? He's going to be 33 next year. You know exactly what you're getting. You're getting mid to back end quarterback 1 production. You're getting attachment to a top 5 level offense. George Pickens probably going to re-sign this offseason. The unfortunate thing in Dynasty, though, is that his ceiling is going to be capped. He's the type of player where if I'm in contending teams, like I'm seldom trading him. I mean, you could speak volumes based off my portfolio of him.
I mean, I think you have him in every single league that you're in. So
him and Drake May have to be.
Nobody is shocked by this, that you would not trade Dak Prescott. Like you still have him ranked over like 25-year-old quarterbacks.
For sure. Hey, if he's going to give me top 5 production, I'll take it.
Which just, if he was any other 33-year-old quarterback, you wouldn't.
Oh, no.
It's just that he's Dak that you do that.
Well, no, I mean Russell Wilson was being valued there for a while, and then he
I know,
he
but
wasn't
like
even
Brock
good.
Purdy is also mid to back end QB1 production and is like 8 years younger. Like
There's just a difference. It's a 2 point per game difference right now this year.
2 points per game is worth the years that you get.
I
in my opinion.
disagree. I disagree.
I don't know. Anyways, we don't need to get into a Dak discussion right now. Javonte Williams, Amari Hampton, Bucky Irving. I can't say Bucky against Carolina.
Ooh, Javonte or Bucky? They're 14 and 16 for me.
I mean, you're probably getting both of them in anyways because he's got 2 flexes.
How are you considering Dak? Is it super flex? No, in the comment it said considering Dak Prescott.
Oh, because he has Brissett in his.
I would go Brissett over Dak.
Yeah, I would go Brissett over Dak as well. Javonte Williams and Hampton to me are the 2 flex options here. I would start Hampton and Javonte easily over Sutton and Igbuka.
Hampton versus Sutton's close, but I probably agree.
I guess I'm just really pilled on this Chargers offense today because I don't want to sit Hampton and I don't want to sit McConkey. And I honestly really like Gadsden as well with the banged up injury stuff.
Gadsden feels like the spot here for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Pickens terrifies me. Happy to put in Henderson or Judkins. Optimize my lineup, please. Okay. I mean, he doesn't have a tight end listed here. For whatever reason, it's not showing up.
He just wants to know the flex decision, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe he has like McBride or something and it doesn't matter. Yeah. So Pickens.
I would go with Pickens and
Henderson and Judkins, I guess, is the decision that he has.
I would go with Pickens and Henderson instead of Wilson, but if you want to start Wilson because of how consistent he's been, like I don't blame you for being terrified.
I think with Harrison back, I would go with Chase and Evans as the receivers, and I would go with I agree with Pickens and Henderson as well. I like Judkins this week. I just don't think he's a like the implied point totals of the Browns and stuff. I don't think it's high enough that you could put him over a guy like Henderson or a guy like Pickens. Like he's not a good enough option to do that with.
I don't think it would take much to balance them at this point because I think with the points per game that Dart's averaged in his rookie season, you probably got to be looking at minimum a third.
That's probably close to a 1-for-1 in the offseason. I honestly think that's going to be the case.
Well, that's the thing. Even if like you say Jefferson a little bit over, okay, fine. Let's just say Dart would be at worst a mid-third round starter pick, if not a 2-3
he's going to be a 2-3 turn pick, I think.
Kind of similar to where Bo was.
Yeah.
And actually, I feel a lot better about Dart than I did about Bo.
He's much younger than Nix was.
Well, that's the big thing, right?
And he runs like he is running right now. Like I don't think people realize that Dart is literally running more than Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson.
So Corey, we got to actually have this conversation. Where does Justin Jefferson rank amongst dynasty wide receivers?
He's
going to be 27 years old, and he's coming off a year with 11 and a half
quickly,
points per game.
We'll just list through the ones that are easy. Puka, Chase, Smith and Jigba, St. Brown, Lamb, and Neighbors all above him, right?
Puka, Chase, JSN, CeeDee Lamb, St. Brown, Neighbors, right? Is that what you said?
Easily taking them over Justin Jefferson.
I'm taking London over him, sleeping not.
Yeah, I would take London over him as well. Igbuka, Rice, T-Mac, Pickens, Ladd, Collins, those type of guys. I think he would rank amongst that group. I don't think I would be able to take Jefferson. I can't take Emeka Igbuka over Justin Jefferson. I
can't either.
I don't think I can. I don't think I could. I think you could get me there on T-Mac potentially, depending on what happens these final 3 games. I can't do Rice over him either. I don't think.
Yeah, with the Mahomes news,
I just don't think he's a good enough receiver for me to actually take him over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, like if Mahomes is healthy, I would agree, I would say, well, I would just take
between
Rice
8 and
easily,
10.
but
I would say Jefferson.
Yeah, that seems valid. Him or Nico, I would take
maybe
Nico
1 or 2 of those guys above. Like if you're in a rebuild, I would rather have Igbuka. But I just in a startup, would I actually be able to click the button on Igbuka over Jefferson? I probably can't.
You can make the argument about Nico over Jefferson. They're the same age.
You could make the argument for it. I probably wouldn't, but I could make the argument for it. I think the only one that after this season you could actually argue legitimately is Tedderell McMillan, I think.
So Mason, why exactly not? Because with Justin Jefferson, it's 11 and a half points per game as a 27-year-old receiver with no quick fix at quarterback.
Well, where does Justin Jefferson go in redraft next year? Second round?
I don't think he should be a top 24 pick.
He's going to go in the second round. There's no way he doesn't go in the second round.
I will fade him if he goes in the second round.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, because even though it's only 11 points per game this year, he's still going to be projected for like 17 to 18 or more next year because he's Justin Jefferson.
I mean, then why isn't he playing like a 17 to 18 point per game player?
I don't know, but I'm just telling you that's what's going to happen. I will also take him in the second round.
Go ahead. Go ahead. There are going to be at least 7 or 8 wide receivers I'm going to have ranked above him.
I think Nico, if you wanted to take Nico over him, that one's very valid. I think you could easily take Nico Collins over him.
I'm easily taking
a rebuild.
Nico, yeah.
If you wanted to take Igbuka or T-Mac over him, that's very valid as well. I think with Mahomes' health, you can't take Rice over him, and you definitely can't take like a Pickens or a McConkey or a Harrison over him.
What horrible coaching change, realistically? What's the horrible coaching change?
Halfway through this year.
Like, is the horrible coaching change starting the first round pick quarterback that they invested in over?
And here's the other thing. Like, let's say JJ plays pretty decent for the next 3 games. Like, I have a lot less concern about JJ McCarthy next year than I had about him this year.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's fair play. Dude,
he did have a horrible coaching change that was going to your team.
He's averaged 7 points per game for me. 7.
That's garbage.
7.
DJ Moore has 4 22-point per game or 22-point games this year, and Justin Jefferson has 1.
Mason, like, I know it's a bit haha, but like, in all seriousness, look at your screen with a straight face and tell me my season hasn't been the most cursed thing you have ever seen.
It's bad. It's bad.
I can't believe it. And like, everybody agreed my team on paper.
Dude, if I lose the toilet bowl to you, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Like, you deserve the Denny's so bad. Like, with how cursed your season has been, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way you shouldn't be in the Denny's based on how it's gone so far. It's got to be you or Zach, because both of you guys are so cursed.
It's actually unbelievable. Like
me and Nathan have not been nearly as cursed as the two of you. Like, we should, like, we're both projected to win right now. We both should win this week, I would imagine. But I could lose still very easily. We all know what happens when I think I'm going to win.
It's just like every move I've done process-wise looks sound, and then these fucking players, hey, quit John Judkins. Everybody on the site values as a top 30 to 35 player. What does he do in the Latzers lineup? Justin Jefferson, when I acquire him, top 12 to 15 player in fucking fantasy by everyone's metrics. Yeah, Sal, even fucking you. You can't say
Sal literally called him like a first-round pick if we redrafted today.
You fucking asshole. You literally make a clip saying that you always were on the Buka side. It's like, yeah, fuck.
I mean, to be fair, Nick, the editor, did kind of fry him there.
No, in all seriousness, too, and you remember me saying this. This
is the only thing I would push back. The only trade I disagreed with was thinking that Daniels and Allen were that close.
Yeah, and that's fair. That part of the deal.
You did run cold on that trade like I did in my Ayuk trade, though. Is that did you think Travis Etienne would be like a top 10 running back this year when you traded him? No.
Well, when I did the math on it, like, the only thing that really fucked me was the Allen versus Daniels discrepancy, because like the actual 3 for 3 of the other players. Like,
well, Etienne being as good, you traded Etienne as an ambiguous backfield piece, and he's quite literally been a top 10 running back in fantasy.
Yeah, like fucking Drake London was literally like a top 3 wide receiver in points per game, who I got Puka Nacua basically out of because Daniels ended up being nothing. Like, okay, let me ask you this. If you substituted instead of Daniels and London in that deal, Puka Nacua's name, like, how does it change?
Yeah, it changes. I never said that Allen and Daniels were the same. I literally said to Danny at the meetup, I'm like, I don't know, because you were saying Daniels and Allen were really close to you, and I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, there was a tier. I was far more pro Daniels in a tier ahead of Daniels and Hurts before the season.
Well, I mean, that was far more pro Daniels than anything. But like, that obviously didn't work out. But like, even just like looking back, Judkins, he became a complete fucking cone as soon as I got him. Roma Dunze, as soon as I trade for him back, he basically gets a soft benching IR, whatever the fuck we want to call what's going on right now. Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson, I only even made, Bush, you can actually confirm this. I only even made that trade, even with everyone saying, hey, Danny, like, you're fleecing him. I can't believe you got Jefferson and Derrick Henry. I told you, I'm like, the only reason I even traded away Puka.
Well, because Hunter and Kraft went down, right?
If I didn't if I didn't lose those 2 players, I would have just held Puka.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is what it is, man. Like, sometimes you'll have years in certain leagues where like everything fucking
trading
goes against you.
Wandale and him turning into like a top 20 receiver too was also super unlucky. I think this is a not your year. Like, my home league last year, my team was pretty good, and it just was not my year. Like, I went up 49 points going into a Monday Night Football game, and Joe Mixon beat me. Like, sometimes it's just not your year.
Hey, It's not even copium hour at this point, Arthur. Like, I'm fully acknowledging that my stomach is going to be in fucking agony for a week after that.
You versus Zach next week, if that's what it ends up being.
It's the IBS Bowl.
Yeah, literally. Fantasy gods, don't hear what I'm saying. I'm not declaring victory yet. Zach had 30 points for Matthew Stafford, so I'm not declaring victory yet. I'm saying if it's you and Zach next week, it will be the IBS Bowl for sure. It'll be the who can stay in Denny's longer bowl.
Dude, I'm not even joking you. Like, I'm already fucking envisioning my scenario. I'm going to get an airport fucking pillow for those airplanes. I'm getting my AirPods.
Yeah, you don't have to eat anything if you don't want to.
Well, I'm at the very least going to sleep deprive myself to the point where I get a good 6 to 8 hours on that fucking Denny's bench.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be, Mason. There's a reason I didn't pick Danny for the matchup this week is because I wanted it to kind of be that in case it happened.
Yeah, I mean,
Zach's got McMillan, Bucky, Evans. He's got some good players for sure. Absolutely got some good players. That could kill me today. I'm feeling confident knowing that DJ Moore and Kenneth Walker were the two players that I had play, and they have 47 points right now. Like, I haven't had Bijan play, haven't had all my better, Lamar could have a good game tonight. Like, I think I should. I feel pretty good about it today because you know what else? It wasn't my decision. It was my cat's, and my cat knows best.
Also, dude, I will say I am praying I play Zach next week because he's the only guy I can fucking beat in this league, apparently.
Yeah, no, that's also so why I did why I was gonna pick Nathan if I was gonna pick my opponent was that you play better against Zach too. I was like, Danny will probably have an easier matchup against Zach too.
I don't know what it is, bro. I can't game plan for shit against anybody else apparently, but against Zach, I just dial in.
True. Cats took over is exactly what happened with how I picked my opponent. Okay, so let's get back to these questions here. Peanut Gallery, he said, great start, but trying to finish strong. I mean, if you started Jordan Love, you did not have a great start, unfortunately. So, which you did. There's no way you were going to start
There's no way you started Minshew over him.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have advocated for it either.
In the flex here, I'm going to send you another question, by the way, because for some reason this one breezed through our shit yesterday, even though Jordan Love was in it.
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings, Mike Evans. Okay, so you're going Jennings and Evans, right?
Yeah, easily sleep like a baby.
Yeah. I do think it's possible. Like Mike Evans was on the Buccaneers radio network. They have a podcast with Casey Phillips, the team reporter, and Will Golston, who's obviously played for the Bucs his entire career, and he's pretty much.
Was he the one who was the first round pick?
No, he was
Vernon. I'm thinking of Vernon.
Round pick in 2011.
I'm thinking of Vernon Golston. That's Vernon Golston's nephew or cousin.
Will Golston's just been a 5 technique run stopper for us for 12 years. And he just retired, I think, last year.
Well, I remember when he actually came out of the NFL draft because Mayock would do the comparison circles. Yeah. And I remember he was the first cousin or something like that of Vernon Golston.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mike Evans was on a radio show with them, and he said that this season, the first 5 weeks of the year, he has never seen more bracket coverage in his life. He's like, I've never seen more teams try and take me away before. And I think what's going to happen is that Carolina is going to put JC on him for a lot of the game if he's playing. I'm not sure if JC's healthy. And Igbuka we might see that vintage Igbuka game, or even Godwin potentially, just one of the ancillary receivers have a 20-point game because Evans is just getting absolutely blanketed. So
fair enough.
We'll see.
Or anyways, we could see the Panthers defense getting a couple pick sixes for the.
I have the Bucs defense, so I'm kind of hoping.
I dropped them. I dropped them because I tried to pick up the Bengals defense, and then I realized that they didn't clear waivers till Sunday at 8:45. So
yes, Josh, we see you. We got time. We only got 25 questions. We got to get through them a little faster though, so we get to some extra ones here. You should probably change the thumbnail. Mike Evans? No, I'm just saying this is a gut-alytics take. I think process-wise, you have to start Mike Evans with what he did last week. Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle. He also just traditionally goes off against the Panthers too. Pittman, Waddle, Adonai Mitchell, Audric Estime, Marvin Harrison. I think. So I have Waddle.
I have Adonai Mitchell the highest of them. I have Adonai Mitchell the highest.
That's copium.
It is not, bro. Jalen Waddle.
You're going to start Adonai Mitchell over Jalen Waddle and Marvin Harrison.
Sleep like a baby doing it. Sleep like a baby doing it. I'm telling you that right now.
No fucking way, dude.
On my life. On my life.
Okay. I would go with Waddle and Harrison. Danny, I guess, would go with Adonai Mitchell and who?
I would go with Adonai Mitchell and Waddle because of the limited snaps. If we knew more snaps from Marv, I would actually play both over Waddle. I'm telling you right now, dude.
In that
Cincinnati
game
has
environment, I'll take limited snaps over Brady cooking the Jets offense on full snaps.
Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins offense any better?
No, but Waddle's not in this discussion. Like Waddle's the number one of this group for me. I'm talking about Harrison
I disagree.
versus.
I disagree. I don't think he's the number one in this group because he got shadow coverage from DJ Turner and he's got Quinn Ewers throwing him the football.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
why you'd start Adonai Mitchell is why you're going to be the toilet bowl.
Hey,
to be fair, of the two of us, I've been way worse with the start sets on my own team.
Yeah, I mean, what are we excited about Waddle for, realistically? Sorry,
well, he's again, my point on the whole Parkinson stuff was I'm not going to start some random shitter off of the waiver wire in week 16 over a guy like Jalen Waddle. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been.
If I go down with, if you look like a genius because you started Adonai Mitchell over Jalen Waddle, congrats. I just think you'll look far stupider if he has a bad game.
I get that. Waddle has 10 points per game since the bye week. Waddle has Quinn Ewers throwing him the football. Waddle has the clear toughest matchup on the field. That's why he's so low in my rankings.
That's fair. I'm gonna just trust the guy who's been clearly a great receiver his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, in the last 3 weeks, Adonai Mitchell's outscored him.
He has. You're right. But that was true of like Colby Parkinson versus Tyler Warren, and I wasn't doing that either.
Yeah, but like that was a bailout. His backup tight end scored a touchdown.
I don't care. He was a bad play. He was
not a bad play.
I'm not saying he was a bad play as in a bad streamer. He was a great streamer, but he should have been ranked like a streamer, like a 12 to 15. Dude. He should not have been started over Jake Ferguson and Tyler Warren, who've been great tight ends all year.
He was the tight end 4 in points per game the previous month of the year, and he had 15 red zone targets in the last 4 games.
And how did that work out for him?
Cool. You lucked out. You bailed out because Terrence Ferguson scored the fucking touchdown. You want a fucking cookie?
I've been spotting claymores like Parkinson my whole fucking life, dude.
Exactly. It was a smash play that
he was not a smash play. He was a smash play as a streamer. He was a smash streamer. He was not a player that I was starting over Jake Ferguson, Tyler Warren, Travis Kelce,
like
all these guys that people were starting him over.
You're acting like Tyler Warren with Phillip Rivers was a set and forget it play. You're acting like Jake Ferguson, who's been caca-doo-doo in the last month, was a set and forget it play.
They've been top 7 tight ends all year. Yeah, they're set it and forget it
all year. Doesn't matter at this point. You have to follow the usage trends. Fucking Tyler Warren's been cuckoo, caca, poo-poo, dog shit. Fuck, I can't even speak at this point. You get it. Whatever fucking.
Anyways.
Whatever term you want to use.
I know what you mean.
Shit.
Frankly, I think it's odd that you're not giving me props on the Parkinson. Like I called it that he was a trap.
You got bailed out because Ferguson scored a touchdown, dude. If Parkinson scores that process,
though, is that Parkinson only had 2 games the whole year of 60+% of the routes because they play a lot of 3 tight end. That was part of why I didn't like Parkinson.
We still have to see Tyler Warren play. Also,
it's not like I just got lucky. Like I knew he wasn't going to be the clear-cut starting tight end because he hasn't been all year.
Which is fine, but toting a guy like Tyler Warren with Phillip Rivers throwing him the football who hasn't crossed
a guy like Tyler Warren, top 15 pick in the NFL draft.
He's been dog shit recently. What do you mean? Colby Parkinson's played better.
7 on the year.
Okay, and then how's that been since week 7 or 8?
Dude, if you go by stretches of games all the time, like I'm going with whatever I have more information.
With Phillip Rivers throwing him the football. That was the process.
I have more information that Tyler Warren is a better tight end than Colby Parkinson. Not only that, but he runs more routes. He has more involvement.
He has one game with over 10 points in the last 4 games.
I don't know, man. Again, Colby Parkinson, if you were streaming tight end, great process streamer. It's just he was not more than I refuse to believe
your props. It worked out.
This week.
I'll give you your props. It worked out, but I just think process-wise, there was no way Tyler Warren was a better process play than the guy who was the tight end 4 in the previous month of the year with elite usage.
Yeah, like I don't subscribe to this idea that because Warren now has Rivers, he's terrible.
Dude, he was a top 12 tight end in 4 of his previous 5 games.
Yeah, tight ends suck, man. Tight ends.
Okay, he was a top 5 tight end in 2 of those games. He was the tight end 8 the week before.
Tight ends are stupid. Tight ends are
Parkinson's been good.
I know he has been, but it was all touchdown based, and he wasn't running the full allotment of routes.
Dude, screw me for thinking the guy that's been scoring touchdowns, that gets a lot of red zone targets, could have scored touchdowns in a game that his team scored.
He could have, especially with no Devontae Adams. Like I said, he was a great streamer. I just was not starting him over Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson.
This is my point, by the way, Katz. This is my entire point. Saying Parkinson was a bad play, sure, grand scheme, he didn't score a lot of
streamer.
Points. If he scored a touchdown, it would be a completely different tune. Different tune.
no disrespect to Hayden Winks, but how did Colson Loveland over Brock Bowers work too? You have to play the guys who are better than other guys.
I mean,
like you have to, like when Brock Bowers is out there, you play him. When Tyler,
I don't disagree with the Bowers point, but like Loveland was a smash.
He was a fine play, but you weren't starting him over Bowers.
Yeah, I think it's easy to
decisions.
I think it's easy to criticize after the fact. I think it's very easy to criticize after.
I was criticizing during it too. So
yeah.
I don't know. For me, I just looked at it as this. If you're a streamer like Colby Parkinson was, then among streamers, you're the best play, but you're not playing them over non-streamers.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
I just disagree because I think there's maybe only 3 to 4 must-start tight ends on a week-to-week basis, and the rest
I think that guys like Ferguson, Kelsey, and Warren are considered must-start tight ends, at least as far as like a 12-man league is concerned. Like, are they the best 3 tight ends in fantasy? No, but are they must-starts in most 12-man leagues? Yes.
Who?
Like Ferguson, Warren, Kelsey, those guys. They're not McBride, Bowers, and Kittle, obviously, but they're probably must-starts in all 12
So Kelsey with no Mahomes, Jake Ferguson, who has literally done nothing.
Rice also.
Sure. Fair. Oh, sorry. Lamb. Ferguson, who has done nothing since Lamb and Pickens have been on the field. That's another thing. Like, I'm the Cowboys fan. I should be touting Ferguson. He looks like fucking shit out there, and he isn't getting targets.
He also wasn't healthy last week. He was a game time.
He hasn't been healthy for a while, dude.
He's full practice and off the injury report this week.
He's been playing with shit throughout his career. I'm telling you, dude. The guy has no juice at this point.
Okay. Anyways, we should get off this because we got to get back to the questions.
You picked Ward off of waivers? What?
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so flexes are wide receiver / tight end and wide receiver / running back. So they're different kind of flexes, I guess. I mean, he submitted this 22 hours ago, which would have been before the Packers game. So
yeah, I texted him. If you see, I texted him. I'm like, yeah, if JJ's out, you play Emmanuel Wilson. If not, we'll touch upon your question tomorrow. So obviously,
okay, yeah. So I mean, he wouldn't have played Emmanuel Wilson because Jacobs played, obviously. So I would be going with Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, I don't know why the hell Christian McCaffrey wasn't in the lineup.
Carter or Dowdle higher?
I have Dowdle higher. Okay, he said flex are wide receiver, tight end, and wide receiver running back. Okay. So in this question, is this Olave or Jennings?
Olave and Jennings.
Okay, Olave, Jennings. Hopefully he didn't play Debo. I would have said not to. Waddle would have been the better option there.
Even for me, he would have been higher.
Fannin would have been the best. I hope he didn't play Parkinson, but I guess he didn't because he submitted this after.
Yeah.
And then Dowdle and
Carter.
I would have said Carter over Debo. If you would have played Debo over Carter, I wouldn't have blamed you really, but I would have said Carter over Debo.
I would also say Carter over Waddle. So like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Waddle, like there's
a lot but that's what I mean. Like if you played Debo in your wide receiver spot and the flex decision was Waddle versus Carter, I would actually start Carter over Waddle.
Yeah, I would go Waddle still, but that's definitely not an outrageous take there for sure. Okay, we already got to Mark's team review there. JJ Toda ship here. Wide receiver question: Emeka Egbuka, Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison. You're going Mike Wilson here.
You see Toda ship?
Toda ship. Tuda ship. I've called him this before, and I like Toda ship better.
Toda ship. That's hilarious.
Marvin Harrison versus Egbuka. Again, I maybe he was the one in the chat who asked this earlier, but I am personally faced with this decision in the Flock League, and I am starting Emeka Egbuka because even though I love the game environment for the Arizona and Atlanta game, I'm a little worried about the limited snaps, and of course, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride soak up a lot of targets too.
So hear me out. I wouldn't do this. I would not be shocked if by week's end the right answer was Jordan Mason because he scored 2 touchdowns against the Giants. I wouldn't. I would start Egbuka, but like there is upside because of how bad the Giants defense is that Mason punches in a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. Hello, wondering about all the positions. Okay, well, I don't see a quarterback question here. So Bruno, for some reason, it's just not showing up. If you're in the chat, just let us know. If you have a quarterback question, we'll answer that for you. Rico Dowdle, RJ Harvey, and Amari and Hampton. I have Amari and Hampton the highest of this group.
I'm cool with that, assuming Harvey can get into the answer.
Yeah, he probably will get into the flex. Flowers versus T-Mac. I would prefer T-Mac of that group. And then tight end, again, for some reason, it's not showing there. If you're in the chat, let us know if you have a tight end question. It'd be Flowers versus Harvey versus Dowdle.
Harvey.
I'm cool capitulating on Harvey. That would be really close, though. I probably would end up going Flowers, assuming this is full PPR, but that's close. That's really close. Yeah, I'm a teensy bit where Harvey's been one of the worst running backs in the league. Rush yards over expected. Like literally one of the worst in the league.
He catches the ball. He's attached to an offense that'll score points.
Not by much. He doesn't catch that many passes.
I mean, he's been very productive.
He's been okay in the passing game. He's been really inefficient, and he's gotten a couple of targets a game. Like, I'm not convinced RJ Harvey's a smash play. Yes, the workload dictates that he's probably a play for most people, but when you have options like Zay Flowers in full PPR, I'd just rather start him.
I mean, respectfully, there's just no way I'm starting Zay Flowers over him. He has 2 20-point games in his last 4, across his last 4 since he's gotten the full workload. He's been, a top 12 overall running back in points per game.
I mean, Flowers had a 20-point game 2 weeks ago and was another drop touchdown away from a 30-point game last week.
Hey, drop touchdowns is what you're going to deal with.
It is kind of Zay Flowers' MO.
2 touchdowns on the year. No, I'm just not passing down the 15-plus opportunity per game running back for the Denver Broncos at home.
I'm not calling Harvey a bad play. I'm just saying it's a very close discussion for me. I have Harvey as a running back 17, I think is what he is, or running back 18 in my rankings. The Jags are literally the best run defense in football as far as yardage per game. Like,
no doubt.
In the league.
No doubt. No disrespect to the Jags defense at all. I actually really like their defense, hence why I've been very much an advocate on their Super Bowl odds. It's just, I think this is going to profile into a week where we see, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets out of the backfield for Harvey. We know he's going to have goal line equity on that team. The Jags secondary has just been very good. Like, I do think Bo Nick's going to have to find out.
I just think that game's going to be low scoring. I don't really want pieces of it. That's why I'm going Flowers. I think that game's going to be higher scoring.
I think Engram and Harvey are going to have big days.
Maybe. Jackson Dart and Baker was the quarterback discussion. I would go with Jackson Dart there, Bruno, and then tight end Fannin or Warren. I'm going with Fannin there with no Njoku out there. Fannin 11 and 14 targets his last 2 games with no Njoku. It's just he's getting absolutely fed.
You know what I just took in, by the way, of Evan Engram?
What?
Revenge game.
Yeah, it is. I did see that. Tyler Warren versus Hunter Henry. I'm going Tyler Warren there.
Yeah.
Let me get this off the screen. Flex decision, Jordan
Higgins.
Mason, Dobbs already played. Unfortunately, if he didn't play Dobbs, Arthur, then that kind of sucks because he had a great game. Probably weren't going to, though, I would imagine.
Higgins.
Yeah, I think Jaden Higgins has got to be one of these. And I actually think I lean Hunter Henry with the other one.
Henry or Mason would be my answer. For sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Mason has the touchdowns or whatever in this game. But since Aaron Jones came back from his injury, he has 15 touches a game. Mason only has 9. It's not like he's getting a huge workload.
No, you would totally be banking on that he scores a touchdown or 2.
Yeah, that's kind of how you need to get there with Mason, which could happen against the Giants are terrible. But I think Hunter Henry, with the way that Diggs is not really playing a whole lot of snaps, I think that Hunter Henry's pretty safe for like 6 or 7 targets.
Go up on his lineup. No, it's okay. It's not the listener league. I don't wait. No, it is. It is, right?
No, he had Puka in the listener league.
Right. Okay. No, yeah, you're right. I just saw Bijan.
He has Bijan in the listener league as well, but he had Puka there. He
This
said didn't play him. How about DeMercado?
No.
You can't trust DeMercado until you see the snap share and the workload. Like, I think they already came out and said Carter's going to be the starting back too.
Yeah.
DeMercado was a fine waiver pickup to see what happened throughout the week. But if you recall, on Monday, I literally said pick up DeMercado for cheap in case they say he's going to be the starter this week, and they actually said the opposite, which is that it would be Carter.
I'm assuming you played Swift. Like, there would be no reason not to here.
Yeah. If you didn't play Swift for whatever reason, I guess I would go
Jordan.
No, I would probably start P Ryan, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm assuming
he played Swift. He played Swift.
Yeah. Higgins and Schultz.
I'd go with the 2 Texans, I think.
Yeah.
Higgins and Schultz.
I like that. Shout.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're not in great shape then because you had I guess you had Puka already, so that's good.
Yeah.
But,
you're definitely in great shape because you had Puka.
But you had Parkinson and Swift who didn't really do anything, which sucks. But I mean, Puka will make up for that.
Yeah, 50 points from that guy is going to be very nice.
T. Carlson here has his lineup set. I guess we're just kind of checking it out. I
would set it as is.
I would play Amari Hampton over Juwan Jennings, man.
I would play
Amari Hampton over Rico Dowdle instead.
That's perfect capitulation. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I would go with. If you
I'm not sitting Jennings
Hampton out there, I'm calling remember we used to do the going nuts picks. Amari Hampton going nuts today. He's going for 20 plus.
He could. Let me check Quentin Williams' practice status because I'm not sure.
He's listed. He's like a true game time decision kind of situation. Yeah, I believe he was limited all week.
Inactive.
He's inactive officially.
Yeah. I
guess he would have inactives would have came out.
Yeah, I gotta raise Hampton up the rankings.
Yeah, I mean QJ factors that much in.
Huh?
Oh, he is active. It says on Underdog, active.
What? I just literally searched his name and
Underdog,
said inactive.
NFL, Quentin Johnston groin, active for week 16.
No, Quinnen Williams.
Oh, Quinnen Williams. Sorry, I thought you said Quentin
inactive.
Johnston.
Quinnen Williams is inactive 21 minutes ago, according to Dallas News. Therefore, it got announced he's going to be out, so I got to move Hampton up my rankings. Hampton, I'm going to be moving above Harvey now. Hampton RB 16.
Okay, yeah, that's where I had him before. To be honest, without Quinnen Williams, I'm probably not going to raise him any higher. I'm not going to put him over Derrick Henry or Javonte Williams or anything like that. But Hampton's he's a great play this week, man. I think he's a fucking monster.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, apparently Mike McDaniel is supposed to come back for the Dolphins this next year. That's what it's said is expected to return.
So they chose McDaniel over Tua is basically
which they should, because McDaniels is a good coach.
I agree.
And I want to say we said I tweeted this yesterday. Can we, like, if you get rid of Tua and you don't have a high enough draft pick, let's see what Malik Willis and Zach Wilson can do. Like, go into the camp with those two quarterbacks and see if one of them can battle it out and be a starter.
Apparently, it's sounding less and less likely that Woody Marks is going, by the way.
Really? I'm playing against him.
In
the block league.
He's got Jawar, though, right?
He's got Nick Chubb and Jawar, but Nick Chubb is supposed to play. So that means that it's going to be a Jawar and Nick Chubb backfield, and he might not know who to start.
I totally forgot that Chubb was back. And he sat Rodriguez, didn't he?
He sat Rodriguez, and it says sub Nick Chubb if out. So he's going to play Nick Chubb by the looks of it if Marks is out.
That did not age well. That's why we're in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, Tua's gone, man. Tua's good as gone. Somebody will probably take a swing on Tua. Like, I could see like the Raiders or something. Like, I guess the Raiders would probably have the first pick of the draft, but like a team that's not in the top of the draft, like the Cardinals maybe, taking a swing on Tua.
Yeah,
I think they're going to eat his contract. I think they're going to like Russell Wilson his contract. And what the Jets or the Dolphins, are going to have to do is what the Bucs did when Brady's dead money caught up with them, or what the Broncos did when Russell Wilson's dead money caught up with them. Is that you either draft a quarterback, a young quarterback in like the second or third round or the first round even, to get cheap, or you go with a guy off the scrap heap, which is what Tampa did with Baker Mayfield. And it wouldn't shock me if Malik Willis, Zach Wilson is what their week one QB battle is in Miami.
What team? Miami. Yeah.
Give me a Zach Wilson game here to get them excited. I'm gassed up here.
Why would the Cardinals bring Tua in knowing they have a better quarterback already on their roster?
I mean, somebody's going to take a swing on Tua, man. He's a good enough quarterback that he can start for another team.
I just don't think there's many spots that actually would.
I could see him taking a little bit of a gap year with the Rams and sitting behind Stafford for one more season.
Why would the Rams pigeonhole themselves to average traits? Like, just
because Tua Tagovailoa has run that system already and can do it well, and McVay maybe has an ego.
What's your definition of well?
Mismanaged. Coaches have egos, man. I think Tua has more fans around the league than people think. I'm not saying he's like a superstar franchise quarterback, but there's a reason he was paid. Like, he was a top 15 to 20 quarterback in the league when he was paid.
Let me be perfectly clear. The next team, if there is one, that employs Tua Tagovailoa as a starting quarterback has no will to actually win.
Okay. I think Tua's better than 10 of the starters in the league right now.
I disagree.
I just think for whatever reason, he's in his head. He's lost his confidence, whatever. I think what would do him a lot of good is going and sitting behind Matthew Stafford for a year in Los Angeles and assuming the starting job in 2027.
Yeah, I frankly think he's cooked.
Maybe. He could be. That's just where I'm at with it. I think Tua can still be a good quarterback in the league.
Honestly, for his sake, he might be better off if he retires, take care of his fucking head.
I mean, probably, yeah. If he's not going to get a starting job, I think it would be wise for him to do that. Pittsburgh, I could see Mike Tomlin really liking him also, because he has like when he's on, not lately, when he's on.
Behind that offensive line?
Their offensive line's not that bad.
Rodgers gotten
better than Miami's.
Demolished this year. I mean, Miami's has been way better this year.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I could see Mike Tomlin makes a lot of sense for Tua. I think that makes a lot of sense. What if Minnesota brought him in?
Dude, they got better options. I
know.
Play JJ
what if
before I
crash and burn the next 3 games.
Dude, I would rather keep McCarthy next year, assuming that than bring in Tua.
If McCarthy was terrible the last 3 games, I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers goes to Minnesota.
Rodgers.
McCarthy
Okay.
like bottomed out the next 3 games.
Yeah, Rodgers I can see. I just don't
Yeah.
see how Tua is brought in anywhere with actual optimism.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think there's going to be a couple of teams that were like, really, they're going with Geno Smith or Tua or Jacoby Brissett or whatever. There's going to be some teams that like pay these guys like starting ish money.
I would take at least 25 quarterbacks over Tua, and if that's the case, then why would someone bring him in?
What if the Jets bring him in? What if they're like, we don't want Mendoza, we're going to pay Tua on a 1-year, $20 million deal or something, and
I legitimately think
quarterback because he could tank you at the 2027 pick.
I was going to say something out of pocket for what Jets fans would do. Just know that I was thinking it and I didn't verbalize it.
Yeah, no, they would be on the watch list for sure. Okay. Negatron here. Jahmyr Gibbs is in your lineup. Drake London in your lineup. For me, that would be Justin Jefferson over Sutton. But I'm assuming you would go Sutton over Jefferson.
Yeah, I'll go Sutton for sure.
I'm going to live and die by the sword on Justin Jefferson personally, but I get why people don't want to. It's totally fair. Judkins versus Harvey versus Jefferson, I guess would be the decision there. I'm assuming maybe you have Tracy in that range too. I don't personally.
I got Harvey the highest, like by a good bit here.
Okay. I think that's fair. I would go with Jefferson, but Negatron, if you're listening to this, if you want to go with the safer play, it's probably Harvey.
If you wanted to go Jefferson over Sutton, because Sutton's had a low floor, that would be the one you would sub Jefferson in. I just have
Courtney. I agree. Yeah, I'd rather play the running back than.
Yeah, like, dude.
I also don't love that game environment. So the idea of starting 2 Broncos to me sounds pretty unappealing. So that's maybe also why I would go with Jefferson as well.
I'm probably the worst person to ask when it comes to Justin Jefferson questions because I am stained from this guy's.
This is why, because it's fun. I have Justin Jefferson in the listener league, but my team was on bye last week, so I didn't even care what he did.
Yeah, he's been the reaper of my joy.
Yeah, he has been unfortunately bad. Never wrong, just early, guys. Last year when I faded him, wasn't wrong, just early.
Dude, it's crazy how much you got dunked on it for the fact that this downside scenario, yeah, maybe not to this level, but like even if Jefferson was at like 14 or 15 points per game, like if he did that last year, everybody would have said, oh, wow, Bush actually called it. It's just Garrett Wilson was so bad and Jefferson was good last year.
And for what it's worth, Garrett has been better than Jefferson even before this bad stretch. Like before this bad stretch of Jefferson's play and before Wilson got hurt, he was outproducing him.
Yeah, not wrong just early. That's
not wrong just early. Okay, not a super flex league. Is Darren Waller worth the flex here? Okay, Dak Prescott's going to be your starter there. RJ Harvey versus Judkins. I mean, Christian McCaffrey. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Taylor.
I mean,
flex.
For some reason, it just feels like you filled this out potentially wrong because CMC and Taylor would automatically be in there for you. But I mean, Taylor and CMC are the flexes. But he's saying, is Darren Waller worth the flex? So I'm just going to, so obviously.
Let's just rank those guys on the bench in terms of who you take over Waller. So I agree. Olave, Gibbs, JMO, McBride, Taylor, McCaffrey, easily over Waller. Yeah. I would take Pickens over Waller.
I would take Harvey and Judkins over him and Jefferson.
Wandale over Waller as well. Outside of those, like I would probably argue Waller.
Pickens over Olave too.
I would too.
Yeah. So that would be how I would set the lineup. Again, if maybe you filled this out by mistake, like how it's filled out is not correct, just let me know in the chat and we can shoot you a voucher or whatever. But to me, it looks like it was filled out a little bit incorrectly. Otherwise, your team is just really good and don't mind what I'm saying.
This is a very good point. Also, I will say one thing. Obviously, nobody could have predicted what Darnold's become. But if you remember, Corey, the year that he had those couple starts at the end for the 49ers, I actually brought it up to you. I'm like, what if Darnold is just like the guy that we saw from San Francisco? Now, obviously, we more so laughed it off because we're like, there's no fucking way we're taking those 2 games over the rest of his career. But when Minnesota brought him in and JJ got hurt initially, that should have been more of a sign, I guess. Hey, we saw him play well in the 49ers. Yeah. Obviously, we trust Kevin O'Connell. I think we could have done better predicting that. Now, obviously, hindsight bias is at hand here. You're not going to get all those calls right, obviously, especially a call like that. But he low-key showed the signs of that before he even came to Minnesota.
He did, yeah. I think one thing that I've learned, whether it's Geno, Mayfield, Darnold, Daniel Jones, if there's a murky quarterback situation and the ceiling is high because the coach is good or the weapons are good or the protection's good or whatever the case is, you should probably be swinging on that. And Darnold Like if it's ambiguous at all, like if it's, they have this young rookie 2nd-round pick and they have this bridge quarterback or whatever, taking swings on Darnold and, those type of quarterbacks from a dynasty perspective, super flex wise, especially, like you can get some really good value on those type of players. Mike Evans or Amari and Hampton or Teteroa McMillan here.
Evans, Hampton, or McMillan. I'll go Evans. I would go with Mike Evans there.
I'd go Amari and Hampton here. I feel that good about him today.
Top 12
cool going Evans,
wide receiver versus.
Yeah, I'm cool capitulating to Evans. I just think that fucking Hampton's gonna snap today.
Yeah, I'll go Big Mike, but like I can see where you're coming from there.
Okay, so we got about 20 questions still. Let's make sure we get through these in time. Jacoby Brissett, CJ Stroud, that is Brissett pretty easily. Tyler Warren versus Travis Kelce. You going Warren over Kelce with no Mahomes, but also no Rice?
I gotta actually adjust my rankings. I might go Kelce there. I had Kelce buried, but with the news of Rice, I actually will raise him back up. He was at 16. I would start Dalton Schultz, over both. I would start Jake Ferguson over both.
Yeah, I have him 10 and 11. Warren is my highest of the
13
two.
and 14th for me. I have Kelce one spot higher, but if you want to capitulate, I'm cool with that.
Okay, yeah, let's roll with Warren there. That's close, though.
What was the practice reports for Dalton Kincaid? Like, how limited is he?
Kincaid was off the injury report. He was not practicing Wednesday, not practicing Thursday, and then full participation not on the injury report, which surprised me. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Interesting, yeah. So, yeah,
they're going to say at 13. I have him as a start. You got to start him.
Kincaid locked in at 9 for me because I had like Goddard, Parkinson, guys like that already played, Loveland that already played. So
yeah, that's fair. Okay, in the flex here, Jameson Williams definitely going to be one of those. It's going to be between McConkey and Igbuka for the other two, and to me that is pretty clearly McConkey, given the Cowboys, no Quinn and Williams, game environment, 50.5 point over under. As much as I like Igbuka, there is the opportunity or the possibility, that McMillan and Godwin and Evans and him all are kind of rotating snap share wise.
I have Igbuka at 25, Ladd at 27. I can capitulate though if you're adamant on McConkey.
I'm pretty adamant that Ladd's with QJ banged up and Trey Harris banged up, he's going to be out there for the most routes on the team, and Igbuka could be out there for the 3rd or 4th most routes on the team.
I hope you're right, and I hope there's a wide discrepancy in them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I need Ladd to go off, so.
No, you know why I'm saying that though.
Because I have Igbuka in the listener league.
And I have Ladd.
I see. Yes. Back and forth with Wilson, Ladd, or Rico, the last two. Yeah. That's not an easy discussion. I think Wilson's got to be one of them for sure.
Yeah, you're Laddman.
Yes, I'm Laddman. I would go with Wilson and Ladd here as opposed to Wilson and Rico. That would be my decision point. Not because I think that the Bucs are going to be like a crazy bad matchup. I just think the risk of Hubbard factoring into the backfield's more than the risk of, I think, Ladd having a down game. Like, I just think he's so well set up.
I have Rico higher.
That's fine. I mean, like, I don't think that's outrageous by any means.
Yeah. This is like RB 20 versus wide receiver 27.
Yeah, I have Ladd. Ladd's a wide receiver 21 for me this week. I think he's a pretty solid play.
Rico.
Rico's my RB 18, actually. I have him pretty high.
Yeah, I would go Rico.
I just think at full PPR with QJ and Trey Harris coming in banged up against the Cowboys, like, I'd be shocked if Ladd had less than 15 points.
I mean, he's been doing that for
I know he has been, but I'm talking specifically just about this game. I'd be shocked if he had less than 15 points. I'm just treating it on a game-by-game basis. I realize he's not been very good lately.
I got to go Rico, bro.
Okay. I'll capitulate on it if you want to roll with that.
At home, divisional matchup.
He's already starting T-Mac. Maybe that factors in.
If you wanted to capitulate at that point, fine. I think Rico's the better play.
Okay. So Eris 18, if you're listening to that, I would go Ladd. Danny would go Rico. Full PPR, keep Waddle in over Mitchell. Replace Mitchell with Marks. What's the best lineup?
What are the odds? What are the odds? Like,
yeah, that is funny.
Wait, this was 1 hour ago, so maybe
he submitted this when we were talking about it. I'm not sure.
I have AD Mitchell higher. Corey has
Waddle. I'm going Jalen Waddle there. It actually sounds like he can get both Waddle and Mitchell in, because are you going to play Marks?
No,
because that's actually the decision here. Is it Marks versus Mitchell? Not. I guess you could play both if you want to play Marks and Mitchell. But
so it's.
I'm definitely not sitting Waddle there. Like, I would play, even if you preferred Mitchell to Waddle, I would definitely play Waddle over Marks.
Yeah, I'm definitely not sitting AD. So like, yeah, I will probably do that then.
So you're gonna go AD over Marks then?
So the reason why I'm here too, because I had Marks a lot higher at one point, but Jacob actually tweeted this out.
You got to factor in that he will be in the medical tent for at least 2 to 3 drives.
Yeah. Let me see Aaron Wilson's report. Aaron Wilson. He said Aaron Wilson tweeted about it because obviously he covers.
So Marks, yeah.
Let me try to find the report. Is there anything here?
They don't play till 4, right? So
yeah, maybe I guess it must have been on TV is probably when.
Yeah,
he said,
Jacob said was operating under the assumption Marks was a go based on Aaron Wilson's report. Per Graziano today, it sounds less likely. Still, there's no update on Woody Marks really, like by the sounds of it, because they don't play till 4, right? So
yeah, I would play it safe and just go with the 2 receivers, which again, playing it safe could be like one of those guys scores a fucking 0 in your lineup because that is in the range of outcomes.
Dude,
for both
Woody
of them,
is absolutely live to drop a 0 in your lineup. Like absolutely.
I think all 3 are. Waddle, Mitchell, and Woody are.
I mean, I don't think Waddle is. I think he's too involved to drop a 0. I mean, I know what you mean. DJ Turner, Quinn Ewers, yes, he's definitely live to have a bad game, but drop a 0, I think that would be pretty unlikely.
Turner might wipe him off of planet Earth. Maybe,
but I think that Mitchell is the play here. I don't want to, if you guys have Woody Marks, I don't want to fuck with it unless you have to.
Yeah.
Lost Rasheed and Devontae, Coker or Shakir as wide receiver 2, Ashton Genty, your estimate in the flex. Okay.
Coker not even close there.
Yeah. Prescott's easily the quarterback. You're going to go with McCaffrey and Dowdle in the running back spots.
I agree.
JSN, I'm sure you started, hopefully. I don't know why you wouldn't have.
I do have Coker over Shakir.
Yeah, Coker over Shakir for sure. I'm actually doing that in Get Faded League. Kittle there, and then I'm going Genty over Shakir as well.
Yeah, honestly, the combo for me would be between Estime, Genty, Waller. Genty, though, to me is the number one. I agree. I would go Genty.
Yeah. All right, let's get a refresh here. Let me get a quick update on how many questions we have, just so we know. We have 20 questions again, so we had a couple more questions come through. Jacoby Brissett versus Lamar Jackson. I'd go Jacoby Brissett, as crazy as it sounds. If you really need the ceiling, like, I mean, you have Jacobs in your lineup, so you're probably down, if I had to guess. Let me ask you this, Danny. Jacoby Brissett and Lamar Jackson are very closely ranked for me, but knowing that you had Jacobs drop 4 points or whatever he dropped in your lineup, do you go Lamar Jackson knowing that you kind of need the ceiling game?
So it's so funny because me and Fleck kind of have that type of decision. In the league that we co-managed together, it was between Purdy and Lamar. But the fact that the guy that we're playing had Puka drop that big of a bomb, we're going Lamar in that instant. Brissett, though, just feels so secure, dude. Like,
he does, especially with Harrison playing. Like, I don't blame anybody for saying they would want to start Brissett. I just think Lamar has started to play better. This is a must-win game at home for him. The Patriots are missing several defensive starters as well.
Yeah.
I think if I need the ceiling, which I think if you have Jacobs, you do, I would probably start Lamar in that instance, hoping for the 2 touchdown rushing game or the, 50 plus rushing yard touchdown or something like that. Like, you kind of need that to win a game like that when you have Jacobs, who's probably one of your best players, drop 5 points.
Let's say it like this. In 80% of team scenarios, matchup scenarios, we would go with Jacoby Brissett. And the 20% that is the pure ceiling scenarios, then yeah, Lamar obviously has.
He does have Michael Wilson
higher ceiling than anybody else.
He does have Michael Wilson on this team. And McBride. Okay, yeah.
Go Brissett. Yeah.
Never mind. You got to know that the ceiling play is that your stack of Jacoby Brissett and Mike Wilson and
Hampton.
McBride goes berserk.
Hampton. I'm not
Hampton, yep. Wide receiver, you're going Mike Wilson there. And then Justin Jefferson would be my decision point at that wide receiver. Again, you need the ceiling. To me, the ceiling is with Jefferson, not with Sutton.
Yeah, probably right.
Flex decision, I'm going Fannin for sure as the number 1, and then Sutton is probably the number 2.
Yeah.
No need to fuck with Woody Marks in this situation, in my opinion.
No need at all.
Hard to sit Trey after 30, but Bills matchup. Yeah. Okay. Josh Allen's in there. Travion Henderson, you can't sit him, I don't think. Yeah, no, you're going Bucky Irving and Henderson.
Yeah, very comfortably.
Wide receiver, Jamison Williams,
Nico and London.
Drake London and Nico Collins. Tight end, Trey McBride, obviously. And then, Mike Wilson is probably
I think you got to go Mike Will there.
Yeah, you probably got to go Mike Will, but you do have McBride already. Igbuka could be due for a big game. I love the matchup for Judkins, but I don't think you can go with him. I like the matchup for Gainwell as well, but I don't think you can go with him. I think you got to go Michael Wilson there.
Yeah, I agree. Also, are you alive and don't give a flock?
Yeah, I'm in the semifinal.
Which
maybe the problem. The problem with my team right now, though, is that I think I'm facing like a bunch of nukes that I went up against.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy, because I saw Broad
saying Stafford go for 36, Saquon Barkley go for 20 something. I had Mariota drop. I guess it's best ball, so it doesn't matter. But
is this? Yeah, it is.
Jalen Hurts is the only one that like conceivably should hit my lineup when all is said and done. But my team is kind of banged up and injured right now, which kind of sucks.
You need cheap running backs.
He offered me. This is the offer that Brock just sent me, which is actually pretty decent.
I might have an offer for you.
This is a pretty good offer, Brock. Fuck.
Well, I mean,
I might have to take this.
Well, let me know because I might make you an offer too. I have a bunch of guys.
I don't think you're going to give me a better one than this.
Well, let me hear, and I can tell you if I can match or better.
He offered me Chase Brown and Marquise Brown with no Rashee Rice. It's best ball. Again, he could hit my lineup. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't. For my 28-1, a 26-3, and a 27-4. Basically a singular 28-1 for Chase Brown, essentially. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good offer.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a second for one of Jones, Warren, Dowdle, guys like that too, let me know. I'm probably not going to beat that type of offer because I don't have a Chase Brown.
Are you suggesting I buy them, or are you suggesting I'm selling stuff?
No, I would sell stuff. I have some shit. I'm 4 and
you're
10.
Selling stuff. Okay, so I thought you were offering to buy some.
No. I have like Aaron Jones, Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle, guys like that. I'm saying if you wanted like a cheap running back on a best,
I don't actually have any twos in 27 or in 26. So that's why he's asking for my 28-1 is because I don't actually have any twos.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if Warren, Dowdle, and Jones got me a 1, I would do that. But you probably prefer Brown at that point. Although maybe in a best ball, you like the.
I mean, I'm pretty all in with this team, which kind of sketches me out. But you know what? I think I like this, Brock. I think I like it.
That also goes out to anybody still in the mix. If you want Jalen Warren, Aaron Jones, Rico Dowdle, anybody like that, let me know.
Brock, would you throw me a tight end bench piece? Just because I don't have a lot of tight ends on this roster.
I could sell you Juwan Johnson.
Woody Marks expected to be inactive, according to Ian Rappaport just now.
Bang. I could sell you Juwan Johnson if you don't get a tight end from him.
I mean, I have McBride, so it's not like I need one.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying as like a throw-in to throw this deal over the top. Like, would you throw me like Jatavian Sanders just as like a backup?
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to counter with that, Brock. If you throw me Jatavian Sanders, I'll do it. I'd not like married to that idea, but I do kind of need the tight end depth a little bit because I lost some due to injury. So
he literally just offered.
Yeah, JT Sanders, I'll take if you want to accept that deal then.
So I thought you were talking about Flock and Wright initially because I'm playing against Wes in the semifinal this week, and he had
Brock or Arthur does have my my one the next 2 years because I gave him my 2 1s. That's where I lost my ones. I gave him my 2 1s and Sam Laporta for McBride and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, I mean, he has my one this year because I wanted to get Caleb Williams before the year, and I moved off of Tua, who Arthur also moved off of Tua, so he made out like a bandit overall.
Well, who bought the Flock League, fellas? No Woody Marks is pretty huge news for me. Can't lie. Cannot lie. That is pretty huge news for me because now Zach has to start either Jawar Jordan or Nick Chubb, whoever he deems to be the option. Ow. Fucking
sorry.
My desk.
Oh, I thought you made that reaction. Okay. So the deal that I made with Arthur, I don't know whose one I also gave. Maybe it was it Corey's one?
You wrap this up in 30 seconds. We have 20 questions to go.
I will. Arthur, you can let me know who the second one I gave you in that deal is. I know one of them was my one. I know one of them was a different one. So let me know what the other one was. I gave him 2 and 2 1s for Caleb and a 2, which I feel good about even knowing that my one was 104 because that's how I value Caleb.
Okay.
But then,
sorry, we have 20 questions. I realize we have 20 minutes.
Let me talk, and it would be a lot faster, Corey. I promise you. But then Arthur, before Tua lost value, again, keep in mind this was in June. He traded away Tua, Mooney, and Bowers for McBride, JSN, and a second.
Oof.
And then he turned McBride obviously into 2+. Yeah, I'll give you your fucking flowers, man. Okay, I didn't realize that follow-up.
Okay.
We will
Now let's lock the fuck in here.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like Daddy Time did not play Kenneth Walker because he did not submit him as part of the question. So I'm just going to assume you did not play Kenneth Walker in that situation, in which case I would go with Ashton Genty in your RB2 spot. In your flex, it would be probably pretty easily Zay Flowers in that situation over Michael
assuming
Carter.
Walker wasn't available. Yep.
Yeah, assuming Walker was not in your lineup there. We should be able to get to everything here. Denver or Minnesota defense. I'd probably go Denver's defense at home versus Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a little turnover prone. I mean, you could go with Minnesota against Jackson Dart as well, but they're on the road. So I don't feel as good about them.
Yeah.
It's close. I'd probably go Denver's. They're a better defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you hate playing running backs versus your own defense? Yeah, a little bit. ETN versus Denver or Tracy versus Minnesota. I mean, you could. I'm still going ETN. It doesn't really matter to me, even though I'm playing Denver's defense. And then in the flex here, I would go with Tracy over Godwin personally.
I would too. Carter versus Godwin would be close though for 2.
Yeah. FF King 24 here. Brock Purdy very easily over Baker Mayfield for me there. Travis Etienne, Harvey, and Judkins. I'm going Travis Etienne, no questions asked. And then RJ Harvey, Judkins, and Mike Evans and Tedero McMillan as well. I would go with Evans there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Walker 2891. Looks like he didn't play Kenneth Walker, because he would be in the lineup otherwise. So I think you're going RJ Harvey and
Gainwell second here.
Probably Gainwell second. Yeah. I would start Gainwell over Breece Hall if I had that decision.
Yeah.
Gainwell's been so consistently involved in the pass game.
Very cool with that.
Wide receiver wise, I'm going, if you didn't start Reed,
I would have started Reed.
I wouldn't have, because the Harrison report did come out yesterday. So
right. Fair.
I would have gone with Harrison.
What time did the report come out? Because I had
8 o'clock yesterday, like right before kickoff of the Packers game.
If I had about Marv, if I had that report about Marv, I would have put Reed.
Well, Watson was active though. That was the other thing. If Watson was inactive, I would have played Reed, but Watson played, so that's why I wouldn't have. I downgraded Reed in my rankings when Watson got activated.
Yeah, fair.
Anyways, here, Jacoby Brissett, Bo Nix, pretty easily Jacoby there. Travis Etienne, Kenneth Gainwell, Woody Marks, etc. I'd go Travis Etienne. In the flex, you got Waddle, Harvey, Judkins, Gainwell. I'd probably go Harvey there.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Moving into Caleb with the next question here. I believe this is probably in Flocked Up or one of the leagues that we're in with him, I would imagine. Juwan Johnson, Estime, Michael Carter, Jalen Warren,
is there a tight end
Coker,
premium?
Hunter Henry.
Can you go up? Is there a tight end premium?
There is.
There is. Okay. So
I think Juwan Johnson's got to be in there then.
Yeah. I like Juwan for sure in a premium.
So it would be between Warren and Carter and Coker, I would imagine.
I like Coker, man. Carter's the combo.
I don't like Warren because of the matchup there against the Lions run defense. I'm cool going Coker, but I actually would probably go Carter.
I'm cool going Carter. I can capitulate.
I think that would be where I would go with it, knowing that the report came out he would start and it's full PPR and stuff.
It's RB24 versus wide receiver 29 for reference.
Yeah. Final flex spot, Estime, Coker, or Godwin, 2.2 points per rushing attempt, 0.5 points for first downs. Okay, so you got a little bit of a bonus for the running backs there.
Estime, Coker. There's only one of them?
Yeah, it's either Estime, Coker, or Godwin. I'd play Godwin, man. I know you get the bonuses for the running. I think I'd play Godwin
for me here.
Huh?
He's third for me here.
Really?
Estime with the bonus, I would prefer, and I have. Coker
Realistically, on Estime's workload, you're probably only getting an extra 3 to 5 points, but that could be the difference between those guys. If you want to go Estime, that's fine. I'm worried that Estime is going to be in a complete platoon of 3 backs.
So the way I would rank them is Estime, Coker, Godwin in this scenario, given the bonus. If you are adamant against Estime and want to go with the receiver, I actually would prefer Coker to Godwin.
Sure. Let's we'll compromise on Coker there.
Okay.
Because I am pretty adamantly against Estime. It's not that I don't think Estime is a fine play. I just would only use a guy like that if I'm desperate because it's week 16. I don't want to throw a guy like Estime out there when I don't really know what his workload is.
You would rather go down with your studs than try to get
which Coker and Godwin aren't really studs, but you know what I mean? I'm not starting Estime unless I'm truly desperate to start somebody. Judkins, Woody Marks, Trevion Henderson. You're going Trevion pretty easily there. And then, the rest of your lineup is pretty goated. So
perfect.
Goddard, AJK. D Stocks 9 here. Amari and Hampton, Ashton, Genty, Woody Marks. I have Hampton well above where I have Genty.
London.
Drake London's pretty easily the wide receiver here.
Evans flex.
And then, Evans over Mike Wilson slightly for me. It's not by much, but I have Mike Evans slightly over Mike Wilson.
I agree. Got to give Mike his credit, but
which one?
I mean, they're both, right. They're both fucking Mike. I got to give Wilson his credit, but Evans against Carolina in the fantasy football semifinal. When have you heard that before?
Yeah. Was it the final though?
It might have been the final. Actually,
it was the final. I'm pretty sure. And the year Corain won 2 million was he had Mike Evans against Carolina. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, how many times does Mike Evans have to fucking blow up against Carolina?
He cooks the Carolina Panthers every time. In 2022, he cooked the Carolina Panthers in week 16, I believe. Yes. It was.
So,
but in week 17, 2023, I believe he cooked Carolina.
2022, week 17. That was the year Corain made the final, I believe.
It would have been the DeMar Hamlin year if that was the right season.
Regardless, though, 10 for 207 and 3 touchdowns against Carolina Panthers, week 17.
Yeah, no, that was you're right. That was the year Corain won the Millie Maker or the Best Ball Mania. Almost called
2020. 2021, 26.9, 6 for 89 and 2 touchdowns in week 18. So unfortunate there. You only got him to play against them once. Struggled in week 18, 2023. Okay. But in the other game, he played Carolina, 7 for 162 and a touchdown.
That was the day I moved here. I remember that. Because that was the Chuba Hubbard fumbled in overtime. And we ended up winning the game barely, even though Bryce kind of fried us that game. Anyways, Woody is out. If anybody's in the chat wondering about Woody Marks, he is out for this game. So the backfield will be some combination of Nick Chubb and Jawar Jordan, and I would suggest that you start nobody from it. So
nobody.
Saints or 49ers defense. So Saints against the Jets and Brady Cook, or 49ers against Rivers on Monday. I would definitely go with the Saints defense, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Saints have been playing really well too. Down 77 versus in semis versus Williams, AJ Brown, Moore, and Walker. So he's already down big, so he needs the ceiling here.
Brissett.
I think the ceiling is Dart. If you need the ceiling,
I think Brissett's just such a safe.
He's a beast. He's a beast. I'll give you that. And
he's got Mike. Too, so. Yeah. Oh, but Mike Wilson ain't playing though. What the fuck are those receivers?
Yeah, Chase? Those are pretty ends. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Go put Chase
Jamar,
and in.
I mean, you need the ceiling.
What? JT is.
Oh, JT. What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Okay, Mike Wilson ain't playing in there.
Yeah, you got ceiling with the squad.
Okay, Phil, yes, you got nuked by 77 points so far, but you are in very good shape still. Don't worry. Your team is very good.
Dude, you got nuked by 77. You're probably still like a 63% favorite.
Probably. Amari and Hampton is going to be over Genty for me pretty easily. I'd go Harold Fannin easily over Tyler Warren. And then Mike Evans versus Genty versus Warren is Mike Evans. Pretty straightforward. Love an easy question from Cade there. Purdy and Prescott, I'd go with Purdy against the Colts. I'm worried a little bit about the Chargers defense. I like Prescott still, but I think Purdy's the right answer here.
I would take Prescott 50.5 over under 26 implied points at home.
Yeah, that's very compelling argument. Brock Purdy has 26.5 implied points as well at home also.
For sure.
In a much easier matchup with no Sauce, Buckner, or Charvarius Ward, most likely.
Sure. 2 more points per game, but it's fine. They're very close.
Yeah. If you have any deciders like stacking partners, feel free to go with it. I go in Henderson there.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, I'd go T. Higgins over these guys. Concussions don't typically affect your performance, and he cleared the protocol.
I do think I have T. Higgins 1 spot ahead of Evans. Let me take a look. I have. Where's Higgins? Fuck.
We got less than a minute per question.
Yeah, sorry. Higgins just disappeared from my fucking rankings.
Mike Evans, Rico Dowdle, Mike Wilson, Amari and Hampton, etc. You're going Mike Evans here, I would assume. In the flex.
Yeah. For some reason, T. Higgins got scrubbed from my rankings. Now I'm terrified if they were scrubbed from my rankings in the tier list. Because he wasn't activated, and he must have missed the week before because I didn't have him in week 15.
Yeah, you probably didn't have him in there.
You noticed that, by the way?
No, I always the first thing I do for my tier list is look at the injuries. So I always make sure that people who missed the week before.
No. That's not what I'm saying, Corey. I'm saying I put him in and then he got taken out probably by an update because last week
I never had that happen.
My entire rankings got wiped on Friday and I had to do them from scratch Saturday morning before my video.
Right. Okay. We got 5 minutes.
I just noticed that. Thought I would say it.
Diggs, I think, is the best option here. Yeah.
Higgins at 10 for me, by the way.
Diggs and then Jawan Johnson over TJ Hawkinson pretty easily. He flexed Romeo Dobbs last night, which is really good. He had like 17 points. Unfortunately, you also started Josh Jacobs, which sucks. But running back here, Bijan's obviously in there. Wide receiver, Nico Collins is obviously in there. Tight end, George Kittle is obviously in there. And then Tyrone Tracy versus Mike Wilson versus Gainwell versus, Wilson. I guess he didn't play Swift because he's not in here.
Wilson.
Yeah, I'd go Michael Wilson there. Dak shots. Sounds like Danny's Xbox name. Trevion Henderson. Yeah, that's going to be the best option there. And then I'd probably go with Mike Wilson and Judkins. You going Judkins, Genty, or Marv, knowing that you're already starting Wilson?
Judkins, Genty, or Marv?
I think it's Judkins for me. Against the Bills, they're like really bad against the run.
Judkins.
Phil here seems semi-sketchy on Lamar. Played versus Stafford. Okay, so you played against Stafford and AJ Brown already, so that sucks.
ETN.
I have Irving higher, but I'm sure they're both going to get in.
Sure.
Wide receiver St. Brown there. Tight end Kittle. And then it's Bucky versus Jamison Williams.
JMO.
If you want to go JMO, I want to fight back Bucky over Travis Etienne against Denver. I think that Bucky's the better play.
Sure, that's fine.
But I'm cool going the 2 Lions receivers instead of the other running back.
Yeah. I just love JMO this week. He'd be the one of those 3, so I can capitulate on that.
Sure. Arthur said need upside 2 flexes and super flex. Okay. Jawan Jennings, T-Mac. T-Mac's going to be in there.
I have Jawan ranked higher than T-Mac.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get in regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
He's going to be like the number 1 here, I would imagine. Yeah. And then Ibuka is going to be another one. And then Estime versus, there's nothing really else there.
I guess Jawar Jordan could be a convo, but like,
I'm not starting Estime. No, he's a better play for sure.
Yeah, the matchup's just so nice.
Flex decision, Justin Jefferson, George Pickens, and Breece Hall. Yeah, you got to go with Pickens there. And I would start Justin Jefferson over Jalen Coker. There's no way I'm starting Jalen Coker over him.
I have Jefferson higher.
And then I'm cool with Tracy over Hall, even though that is really close for me. I actually was very close to having
I'm assuming you
Walker over him.
I'm assuming you played Reed, hence the spot
there. Mac Bluey here. Marvin Harrison, Woody Marks, RJ Harvey, Common Engai, Jacoby Myers. It's Jacoby Myers for me.
Phil, as a start sit, I can send you another one on the back end. That's totally fine.
Here, I'll send it to him right here.
Okay, dope. He said one was set up wrong. That's fine.
Yeah, I sent it back to you there, Phil. If you got another one, I would go with Jacoby Myers over everyone here. Jacoby Myers versus Ibuka versus Marvin versus RJ Harvey. I'm going Jacoby Myers.
I would go Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, trusting the touches would definitely be my number 2 of that group, but I would personally start Myers there. That is close.
It would be between those 2 for me. If you want to go with Myers too, I could capitulate there.
I mean, you're kind of just hoping, for my opinion, that Harvey scores once or twice, because I just don't think he's going to be efficient either as a runner or a receiver.
What are his odds to score today?
Probably minus money, considering he's the starting.
He might be the biggest favorite to score in the entire game.
ETN's probably got a higher odds than he does.
One of those 2 for sure.
To be fair, I bet you Myers is 3rd. That whole game. Maybe Sutton's ahead of him, but anyways, the great baboon here, Aronde Gadsden or Juwan Johnson to get the chip. Okay, so Drake May is going to be there. Brock Purdy's going to be there. Running back, you're going to have Chase Brown and Travis Etienne. In wide receivers, you're going to go Jamison Williams. If you didn't start DJ Moore, that's unfortunate.
Olave.
Because he would likely get in this question. Otherwise,
Coker.
If he didn't start Moore, I'd go Ibuka.
Coker in the flex probably.
How many does he have? Aronde Gadsden or Jawan Johnson to get the chip? 1 point tight end premium. Okay, so he's asking about his tight end spot specifically. I would go Jawan Johnson for the floor. Yeah, he's the better floor play. Aronde the better ceiling play. But I think in 1x tight end premium, so like 2 points per reception for tight ends, I think you got to go with Jawan Johnson. He just gets too much volume.
Yeah, cool with that.
If you do have these flex decisions, I mean, Brian Thomas, Breece Hall, and Jalen Coker, assuming you didn't play DJ Moore, would be who I would go with. Or would you put Gadsden in over any of those guys or no?
Him versus Hall would be the discussion.
It's a 2x tight end premium by the sounds of it. I'd probably play Gadsden over Hall.
think I would. Also,
But again, I'm not sure if
first,
you just needed to know about your tight end, but that's what we all listed.
because I saw you say Ladster,
And
I
he
would
started
go.
more as well.
Yeah, just because you said Ladster, I'll go with Wando here. And Phil also said in context to his question, if you can just answer this: Myers, Michael Wilson, and Dowdle. So he's the one who we sent the voucher to. There's
Yeah,
something wrong with the
I
question.
would start.
I would go Michael Wilson there.
Yeah,
I would as well, Phil.
Michael Carter, Ashton Genty, Nick Chubb.
Genty.
Yeah, you're going
Genty
Genty.
Or Carter, actually.
I would still go Genty, but it's close enough.
I would too.
Conversation.
They're 23 and 24 for me.
And I just want to go back to his question really quick, just because he mentioned that he started more. I just want to make sure more is in the question. Okay, Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, wide receiver would have been DJ Moore. He said he started already. Chris Olave and Jamison Williams, we would make sure we put in. Tight end, we said Jawan Johnson for the floor.
I think we said both him and Gatson, right?
Yeah. Well, if he started DJ Moore already, that might change it. That's why I went back to it.
Oh, gotcha.
Would you go Coker? Brian Thomas is going to be in here as well. Would you go Coker, Breece Hall, or Rondé Gatson in a 2 tight end premium?
I would probably go Gatson in tight end premium.
I think I would as well, because 5 for 61 is what he had last week. If he has 5 for 61 and a 2x tight end premium, it's like 16.5 points.
And if Herbert's going to be banged up here, guess what? Getting it to the 6'5", 240-pound tight end across the seam against this defense is probably going to work out pretty well.
Okay, I am panicking that I have Audric Estime announced as starter pre-game, according to
I was expected
Saints beat reporter. I'm just saying it just in case anybody has any last minute Audric Estime questions, just throw them in the chat, just because that just came out 2 minutes ago. I'm just literally panicking that my lineups aren't set, even though I know they are.
No, literally the same with me, bro.
I always just get so nervous last second that I don't have the right guys in.
Dude, I same thing with me. Like it's actually a fucking pandemic, bro. Like every time I look at my lineup, I'm like, there's something wrong with it.
Damn, I'm third. Estime or Coker. With that report, I'd be cool going Estime, but I think I would roll with Coker either way.
It's so funny you said that, because literally in the league I share with Fled, I literally just subbed Woody Marks out for Coker.
Yeah, Coker's going to be an interesting. He's either going to be like, oh my god, what a great play he was, 20-point performance, or he's going to have 3 points. Like, there's no in between with him, I think.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I do not disagree.
Get faded. What else do we have in this league? Okay, the games are underway, so I'm already too late. But
yeah. By the way, so you said
you know what's going to happen to me, by the way, against Zach? Xavier Worthy is going to have his best game of the season because I traded him away. And there's no Rice in this one. How much do you want to bet the first deep ball 50-yard touchdown of the year for Xavier Worthy comes today?
Probably. It's funny though, because that's usually my role and everything.
Yeah. Dylan, don't worry. I will be doing prospect model stuff for the 2027 class. Don't you worry about it. When I put the 2026 prospects in, I'm going to put the 2027 guys in too, because I might as well. Like, I'm doing them all at the same time.
Yeah, I actually did something similar. If you remember, I talked about this with you. I did a similar deep dive into 2024, and like, it's pretty funny looking back, because it's like, you know, a guy like Trevion Henderson, he stayed an extra year. You know, guys like that. There was just the way we thought about the status quo of the class a year and a half out versus what
tore his ACL, Hassan. So Gardner Minshew started.
Yeah, the way it actually materialized versus what we thought a year and a half out was pretty funny.
Yeah, the only guys that really just kind of reached their ultimate, what we thought they were going to be, were in 2024. We knew of, was it Marvin that we knew of?
Yeah, and Bowers.
We knew of Marvin. We knew of Bowers. We knew of Judkins. No, sorry, am I mixing up the classes? Oh, Henderson was supposed to be in 2024. Yeah, that's right. And he was in 2025 instead. But yeah, we had a couple guys in 2024 that we knew of that year.
But yeah, no,
but the running backs were pretty much all a flop, though. Remember, because we thought it was going to be Raheem Sanders and shit. Remember, Braylon Allen, Raheem Sanders, and Trevion Henderson were supposed to be the top 3 running backs in the class, and Trey Benson too was supposed to be he obviously ended up being one of the better running backs in the class, but yeah, that class was kind of a flop.
For sure. But either way, we're going to be heading out. I have to go to the washroom. So,
all right. Yes. And Kawan Lacey does look pretty good. I think he's not eligible till next year though. Yeah. And Hardy's a monster. Hardy's an absolute monster. I think he might end up being the 101 in next year's class. Legitimately. He's that good.
Yeah, he's not going to be over Jeremiah Smith.
No, or Manning or one of the quarterbacks potentially, but
get me a top 15 pick and then let the Packers miss the playoffs and get me a second top 20 pick.
There you
That's
go.
what I'm rooting for right now.
Yes, Jerry Harrison is playing today at 4:25, I believe, is when they kick off. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Good luck. Let's avoid the Denny's. Yes, good luck in the Flock League. Danny, I know you're going to need it, unfortunately, because you got Puka on Thursday. Good luck in the Flock League to the two of us. I would be glorious. I want to wish it into existence that Mason loses and you and I win so that we have more wins between the weeks 15 and 17 as he does, even though he's in the playoffs every year. But yeah, peace out, fellas. Good luck. Hopefully you advance.
See ya.
See ya.